So iced coffee, yeah?
Yes, please. I'll take a little, like a half an inch of oat milk.
Ooh.
I've been recently putting my ice in last because even though you could do a stir, isn't this fun?
So fun.
Yeah. I know how you feel about not caring about a penis size as long as you could use toys.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I figured if you only want a half an inch of oat milk, maybe you'll have a sex toy. Theme music. Theme music.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop dee. Oh yeah.
So if there's anything you want to like get into before I get over there that like maybe I wouldn't be interested in, but the audience will.
Okay. I'm going on tour in 2 weeks, I think. Chicago Theater. I really want to sell it out.
Can I do any of them? I bet you if I get to do one of them, we'll sell more tickets.
I can fit you on one or two. We'll do it.
Nice.
Seriously. We talked about it before. I'm sorry I never followed up. I have an opener already. But
where are we gonna go?
I just can't give you more time, like as much time as you deserve. That's what I feel bad about.
How much do I deserve and how much do you give me?
You deserve like 30 minutes at least.
Which do you deserve of this?
I want the taller one.
Right, you want the 30 minutes.
Yeah. I want to do them. I want to be the headliner.
How much is this?
That's 25.
I would do 25.
No, I can't give you 25 on my show. It's not because I just do too long.
Well, do you think maybe that's why you're having a hard time selling so many tickets?
I'm not having a hard time.
Okay.
But maybe on this, I don't check my ticket count.
Let me focus you up.
Mm-hmm. Nom, nom, nom.
Man, it's just fun with you. It's easy with you.
Don't say that.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, very much actually.
What made you just say that though? There was like a moment you were just go, oh, this is...
Because, here, I'll tell you when I sit down. Let me get this focused. I need to focus the wide. This is going to be weird, but could you put I need you to have one hand up so I can height and one forward. And then I need you to clap it like an alligator. Keep doing that until I'm focused. Okay, now freeze for a sec. Do it again. Okay. Wait, one more. Got it. All right. Now we'll focus me up.
Did you make Bill Burr do that?
No. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Ah, God, I always mean to get better help. And make your brain your friend. Yes, with better help.
Visit BetterHelp.com/TYSO for 10% off your first month.
Yes, that's BetterHelp. HELP/TYSO.
HELP.com/TYSO. They get it. That for some reason that episode was doing really well, and then it got flagged for 18 plus only because I did this Gary V montage of him saying the F word for a minute. So then people couldn't watch unless they logged in. So the numbers really slowed down. So then I did an uncensored version or a censored version. Blah blah blah.
No one wants that though.
Yeah, but it's not really censored. It just wasn't Gary saying the F word as much.
Yeah.
But then it kind of plateaued, and in the past couple of weeks that. People have been finding it again. I've been getting a lot of messages about
oh, nice.
That's like the best Bill Burr episode ever, and I'm thinking thank God. That was one of two episodes I was ever nervous for.
I heard you say that, and I like when I find out that someone was nervous, and then I think back to when I saw it first, and I go, oh my God, I didn't notice that at all.
Really?
It's
you
nice.
Didn't see my knees trembling?
No, you were on fire. I thought you seemed to me. I was like, wow, I'd be more nervous than Rick seems to be, but also. We're getting a Bill Burr now who's like a sweetie.
Yeah, but let's not take away from what my gift.
What?
Which, oh, wow, I really...
Making people comfortable and bringing the best out in them?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, that's the thing you do.
Thanks. All right, I'll be back in 15.
I always get nervous when someone goes in a bathroom after I've been in there in case... usually it's if I've taken a shit, right? But I definitely didn't do that in your bathroom. But when you just went in there, I was like, Like,
In case maybe
like what if my pee smelled like poo or something?
Hello?
Do I have to do these?
No.
You sure?
You don't. I'm sure. Of course, you don't have to.
Okay. Sometimes they pull up your face. Like I can position them so they like give me a facelift.
Yeah. Well, then if
Look,
you
look
want,
how much better I look. Like just like let's look. Okay, this is me normally. This is what I want to get done. It's very slight, but like, doesn't everyone like me more now?
people don't like you more because you're prettier. They like you more because you are more alive.
Yeah, we talked about this.
But I will say, my friend, this is a revelation for me because I am in this girls' chat with all my best friends, and we're all the same age, and we're all kind of talking about like, I'm getting old. And my friend was like, stop it. She was like, Nikki, I remember you one time, you noticed that I talk about looks way too much. I would always comment on my looks. I would comment on your looks. And you told me, no more. We're not doing it anymore because it's all we talk about. And it's just, we're always complaining about it. There's nothing we're ever saying good about it. So this was years ago. And she was like, and I remember I was like, if I want to stay friends with this girl, I got to stop talking about that stuff. So I stopped. And she was like, and you're back to doing it again. And she said, let's change this, girls. We're not old, we're alive. Because if we weren't old, we'd be dead. The only way to stop aging is to die. So we're just alive more than other girls are. So now we changed it and we're like, oh, she's less alive than me for a younger girl. You know, oh, he's into women who are less alive.
Yeah, and that was my friend Carlisle Forrester, who's a comedian, who came up with More Alive, and I loved that. One shout out
Way
to
credit.
her. Yeah.
How much time do you give me when I do in your shows? Also, what's the if you let me do 20?
I can't.
Oh, I can't travel for what?
And that's what I told you. That's why I was like, I can't. And it's
How
not
much
because
time
I'm
do you
like,
do, 90?
oh, I can't. Like, I probably couldn't follow you. That's another worry. It's like, you should be headlining. What am I putting at? Not that I'm stack my show with like, whatever.
Well,
ask me your question.
I don't. So I have some friends that like I've said, hey, I'm doing this show. Do you want to feature for me? And they go, no, because they're not a feature. And my thought is like, we're not defining you. You're just doing some time before me.
I like following someone who's really good and where I have to step up my game. There's been times
Let
where
me have 25. At one show,
the thing is,
do
I
70
can't,
minutes.
I can't, because I have an opener who does 15,
Well, have
and
your
then I have to
have your opener not do a show.
Okay.
You have an opener that does 15, and then if your opener did 15, how much would you have me do?
10.
Great. There's 25 minutes. I'll do 30.
Wait. Okay, I will have you do. You can do. It's unheard of for my other openers that are because she's a musician. She opens for me and she does music. Then you come out. You do.
But I'm saying we have one where she doesn't do a show where if she doesn't do.
Yeah. Okay.
So then I'll take her 15 and my 10, and then I'll run the light for 5.
But I want her there. She's my best friend.
Oh, I totally get it. She should come and watch. It's gonna be a good show.
She's also my tour manager, so she'll be there anyway. Yeah. Okay, this is all gonna work out. Okay, we're gonna get you on a show.
But I want it to be a show where it's not in like
No,
but instead it'll be at like
It'll be
Oh.
We'll get you on one of those.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, it's just as ridiculous to me when you first were like, because I just am like, yeah, I just think you're a headliner. Not that it should be like the least good.
Well, I am.
Yeah, and of course you are, but it's just why not have?
I'm just starting to do that.
Right.
And I don't have that much experience with it, and I'm looking forward, and I'm sure it's going to be at least a half hour of I know a half hour I could kill. I know a half hour I'm good.
This keeps getting longer.
I know if you give me 35 minutes, it'll be great. But like, I love doing shows with other people.
I know, it's fun.
Also, when I'm doing shows, I'm not going to be doing theaters right now.
That's true. It's a fun.
So like, I've done a theater. I've done 4 times, and like. That was all pre-COVID.
No, you'd be so fun to like. That's all I want is the hang.
Who are you telling?
Isn't that what it is?
That's what the podcast is.
Yeah.
Well, we don't.
That's what the road is. You said that you don't like to go on the road as much. You're a little bit.
Well, I am going to now.
Make it fun. Bring a friend.
But I don't. I'm not going to be making that kind of money yet. Especially because I got to travel first. I got to stay in a nice hotel.
Oh.
I got to be comfy, baby.
Yeah.
So I can't afford.
Like what
I'm
kind of
breaking
hotels? 4-star at least.
Oh, at least, yeah.
Yeah. But you go like Ritz and stuff? I'm pretty rinky dinky.
I lose money on I lose money on trips.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You like luxury.
Yeah, but I also like will bring my podcast stuff and do a podcast and think, oh, I'm like allocating some of the money I make from the podcast to cover the trip.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to go on
about the hang.
I want to go. I want that.
It's so fun because You used to do clubs, like you just show up and you just have to, whoever's opening for you is the club picked and it's some guy.
The only
and
time
you have to be in the green room with him for 14 hours
and
that
I'm
weekend.
sure they're nice.
Yes, a lot. I've made friends that way. A lot of
The
my
only
friends.
time I'm ever with friends though doing that is when I'm the one that's featuring, not headlining, and I have the
Yeah.
best time.
Yes, it is the best time. Being a feature is the best. And
Yeah. Did I say this to you? Because we did another podcast, but then we got food. I don't remember what we said when we were eating or when we were.
Right.
We'll throw up a picture of us having food. A lot of greens.
A lot of greens.
But like featuring feels like you're an uncle.
Yes.
It feels like, you get to be around the kid.
And then the kid sometimes says, I like you better than
Yeah.
my mom and dad. And you're like, well, of course you do.
Yeah.
He comes in for a little bit. I got to
easier.
entertain you the rest of the
Right.
time.
Right.
And they say it in front of the mom and dad. And you go, this is why I don't like to stand next to my feature after shows, because people always have to make that pointed little.
But I know.
What?
When I'm either a feature or an uncle and somebody goes, I like you so much better than my mommy and daddy or than the headliner, I go, thank you so much. And I look at the mom and dad, their headliner, I go like this, hey, I guess I'm better. But
Yes,
and they
but
go,
you know.
Yeah, but I know. Well,
Yes.
as a headliner, I know.
Yes.
I mean,
I
I know I'm a better comic than you.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely argue that. I would get nervous. Even though I know that when people say that, they don't know what they're talking about, I still get hurt a little bit. Because they said it in front of me so that I could hear it. And I think that's hurtful. Like they wanted to hurt me.
But see, that's where we go back to a conversation we had at another time about why and what people are posting on their social media. Understanding the intention of why they post or why they said as opposed to just what they said.
Yeah.
Because you're somebody, as you've told me, and you've told me that you're public about this, you're not a very jealous girl. You're not jealous.
I'm jealous career-wise.
You're not
Wait,
jealous
you know the difference
personally.
between jealousy and envy?
Yes.
I didn't know.
Yes. Jealousy is you want to be them. Envy is you want something they have.
No, jealousy
Yes.
means yes, Rick. That's exactly right.
Now tell me your idea.
I have a wrong interpretation of it that it might be the exact reason, the exact definition of it. Jealousy is when you're scared that you're going to lose something. So if you're jealous, it means you can be jealous of your girlfriend talking to someone else because you might lose her because of that. So jealousy inherently needs to be something you're going to lose something. Envy just means you just want something someone else has.
Not necessarily, because you could be jealous of
This
somebody
is
else.
the dictionary definition.
No, it's not. You could be jealous of somebody else's career that you've never had, and it doesn't mean you're afraid you're going to lose yours. You're talking
but that
about
means
being
envy.
threatened.
That's envy.
You're talking about being threatened.
Yeah, but that's more being threatened is jealousy.
Difference between jealousy and envy.
You're about to get it. About to get it, boy.
Envy is when you want what somebody else has.
That's what I said.
That's what I said as well.
Okay, but jealousy needs to have the component of you're scared you're going to lose something. And that's
Okay.
the difference between the two.
Definition of jealousy. I hate these kind of definitions.
Yeah.
Here, tell me this is what it means. The state or feeling of being jealous.
Oh, thank you very much.
Maybe overzealous. When you're down, I get so down.
I don't know that.
When you're significant king. Yes, you do.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Dun, 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 dun,
so easy. When you're perfect.
dun, 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 dun,
And he goes, you don't
know
know me.
But if you did, baby, I would love you too.
Yeah.
You don't
Definition of jealous.
want me. If you see it from a list,
Feeling or showing envy of someone. No.
'cause I got issues. You got them too.
I do believe that I do understand that like jealousy could mean like that you're afraid someone's going to take something from you or you can lose it. But I don't think that's the definition. I think that's something.
It's just the difference between the two. When you're envious of something, envy and jealousy both have envy in them, but jealousy has a thing, I'm going to lose something. So I'm mostly envious because I want things. I really suffer with envy. It's like it's one of the worst. If I could pick something to lose about myself, it would be envy. And I read something really interesting in the same thing that I read that whole thing about the difference. Envy is the only sin that's no fun. Of all the how many sins? 7 deadly sins.
Yeah,
it's the only one where you get nothing fun from. Yeah,
that's
gluttony.
fun
You
'cause
get.
to eat.
Yeah,
That's fun. Coming, I think, is one, right?
so fun.
What are they called? Deadly sins or sins?
7 deadly sins, I think it is.
What are the 7 sins? Let's just see, maybe.
Yeah.
7 deadly sins. No. What are the 7 deadly sins?
you don't want me.
What are the 7 deadly sins, please? It's just saying like, they're not saying what they are.
That's so weird. It's the
the 7
most
deadly
simple.
sins, also known as the capital cardinal sins, is a grouping of blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what? Here's what you do. Please list the 7 deadly sins.
List. A little bit like a clip of Joe List.
Okay, here we go.
About
Pride.
sinning. Okay, pride.
Tell me what you enjoy about that.
Pride. Oh, it's like it gives you dopamine to be like, oh my God, I'm so proud of that. It's a good feeling.
Greed.
Greed. I get things.
Yeah. Lust. That's the one.
Oh, yeah.
Show me do greed and then lust again.
Okay.
Greed?
Greed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lust. Oh, okay. Envy. Oh. Yeah, that's nothing good about that. Gluttony. Are you sure that's not lust? Wrath.
Wrath?
Yeah. Oh, you like that one because you feel powerful.
Yes.
And then sloth.
Feels so good.
Okay.
So yeah, this guy pointed out that it was a whole thing about envy and how it's stupid, and that really struck me as like, I'm not getting anything out of being envious. It's only bad. I'm sorry. Did I shift? Did I move?
No, it's good. I checked to make
You
sure
checked.
it's
Okay.
going.
I forgot that part of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I struggle with envy, but I'm getting better at it.
Envy,
when I
but career stuff, you said, not personal stuff.
Yeah, when I see a clip of someone that I go, oh my God, this is really good. I hope no one sees it because it's not as good as I can be. Instead of going like,
A clip of somebody else?
yeah, like a clip online where it's like really funny and I'm like, God, I wish I could be that funny and I'm not that good. Instead of going like, oh, I hope no one see this, I post it on my story. And that's how I fight it. And I go, this is hilarious.
Interesting, because you, out of all my friends, I feel like, are the one. No, maybe not. But you're on the top. You're.
You were going to give me something good there.
No, it isn't even. It's not good or bad.
Oh.
It's supportive. So I guess good. Yeah. You are support, but you are one of the most you tell me things of mine that you watch and like.
Yeah.
And I that feels nice.
Yeah.
Not only that you're telling me this nice thing, but like you're even taking the time to watch something one of your friends and peers are doing.
Well, because it's like I'd watch it if we weren't friends or peers.
But is that?
Yeah, there's times when I watch your stuff and I'm threatened by how good you are and like.
So when you message me, dude, this is good.
It's envy. It's a little bit of envy because like things I like, I'm envious of generally. Things comedically that I like, I don't really like anything that's like beneath me comedically. It's always
Like
stuff
who?
that I aspire to be.
What is that? Which one is that? Is that Wrath?
Wrath, yeah. Dave Wrath.
Yeah.
He's a
I don't get
comedy
references.
manager. Yeah. So yeah, it's like there's an envy there for for you, for sure. Like
Nice, thanks.
for sure. Yeah. But
I don't feel any. If I had to pick any of the ones I feel for you, it would probably be sloth.
sloth.
Yeah.
Hand. That's my sloth.
Oh, we didn't
hand.
get into or at the beginning when I'm like, oh, this is going to be easy. What I said with you,
Oh, yeah.
I want to explain that.
Thanks.
There is something that is based on at the person and the chemistry, and I don't which one is more or less. Who knows? But when it fits, it fits. Where it's just like. You're the type of person, I mean this literally and figuratively, that doesn't wash their hands before they take their ice, right? But I would still feel comfortable, like if I were like, hey, I got to go upstairs to go, scrub my hands.
Yeah.
Like sit there, and I feel like I trust you.
Yeah.
I think you get my thing enough
Yes.
to where you're not going to fuck with me. You're going to do your
Ever.
thing. So I feel accepted.
Yes.
Makes it easy to accept.
Yes.
And then as far as just like us talking, like which we've done now 2 podcasts together before this and a lunch. Mm-hmm. All 3 of those things have just been very easy. Mm-hmm. You could be quiet. I could be quiet. I could ask a question. I could disagree. You could disagree. I think you're going to tell me the truth. I feel like you don't carry much shame. And more specifically, if you do, it's not something you're burying.
I carry a lot of shame for myself, but I try to I think what I try to constantly do, and even me writing to you to be like, hey, what you just did here is awesome.
Sorry. But,
No, you can do that.
I know. That's what I'm
you.
talking about, though.
I accept it.
But please go ahead.
But what I constantly do, I think, is because I carry so much shame, and I do sometimes, or I used to struggle so much with hating who I am and why wasn't I born this way? Why am I not as good as that person? All these things. I think that I constantly want to make people not feel the way that I think I'm constantly feeling. So I've been told a lot, like I'm a very non-judgmental person. Like you could tell me, and there's really nothing that I'd go like, you're a bad person. Like I have empathy for like murderers sometimes. And like I have weird amounts of empathy where my friends are like, we don't really need to hear the side where you like think this pedophile, like you can kind of see why this pedophile did what he did.
Give me an example of why you could see that.
I don't believe that. I don't believe in free will. So I don't believe
Really?
I don't want to get into it because it just turns into like a 2 hours long
fine.
debate.
That's fine.
But I don't believe that anyone's really responsible for what they do. It's like their brain chemistry, that we're all just like robots just doing what our brains
We're
are
not
telling us to do.
necessarily responsible for how our brain is wired and the chemicals that
And the
it
parents we
secretes.
have, like
But as adults, it is by if I were to have to define being an adult, one of them would be taking responsibility for all the things that you maybe weren't able to
Agreed.
as a child. And if your brain is wired a certain way and your parents did or didn't do things a certain way, find the therapy, find the medication, find the coping mechanisms.
agreed. But
okay.
some people have brains that can't get them to arrive at that.
Yes, and
that's
some
not their fault.
Some people are born without hands.
No.
Yeah. And they're not going to be able to do what you're doing. Abort that point of view.
I'm just kidding.
But what they will learn to do is hold a cup with their feet.
Yeah. No, I don't want to get into this whole thing.
Dude,
All
I
I'm
am
saying is
so
that
good at analogies, man.
you are. I'm pretty good at them too.
Really?
Do you want to have an analogy off?
I would, but that would
they're
kind of
kinda
be
fun.
like having a glass of coffee when it's decaffeinated when you're only doing it for the flavor.
Gulp, gulp,
That
gulp.
doesn't. No, that's not
I know,
good.
I know.
That one. Okay.
That wasn't really-
Okay. You weren't really trying. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Question.
Yeah.
Do we do it back and forth or we just do them as they come?
I think that we take a scenario and then we both try to find the best analogy for that scenario and present it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But should we think of a scenario or
Yeah,
as
like-
a scenario, like we'll talk?
Okay.
And
Let's
then once
just
one
wait
of us
for one to
notices a
come up.
scenario.
Yeah, that's the best way.
Oh, ding, 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 ding. Analogy off.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, we could do that with puns.
I'm not great. Well, I'll turn on my pun. I'll turn on. It's time for puns.
Yeah.
I have to like switch my brain to that.
I brag about this character on my podcast sometimes, but I have a character who loves
Pun guy?
Do you know this guy?
I've heard of him. Yeah, I've listened to your podcast, man.
Well,
I love this guy because he makes puns.
right, you're doing my pun guy?
Yeah.
For the
It's
people that
funny.
have been living under a rock, it's a guy that knows that people love puns. He hears them all the time, but he doesn't quite understand what they are.
Yeah, he
So
gets the cadence of puns.
Yeah. Well, that's two on the nose.
Is it?
Yeah, when you say the canes of puns, it deconstructs it to me. Where
Your
it's not as
glasses are
funny.
too on your nose. What's happening?
Every time you get a good pun, we have to now change whatever that is. Yeah. Anyway, but wait, we're talking about something else. Oh yeah, you and not wanting to feel judgmental to people because you're yourself. But
I just want everyone to feel the way I wish I felt my whole life. When I do kind of feel that way now. Comedy, I feel
would
like
you say
has
that's
freed
kind of
me.
similar to like growing up in a household where maybe there wasn't enough laughs, so you decided that since you weren't laughing enough, you wanted to get into the business of making other people laugh?
I think I came from a family that was very judgmental and didn't allow for my feelings to be expressed properly. And I was kind of shut down for like, why are you saying that weird thing? That's really, my parents are very nice and very cool, but they weren't great at acknowledging my feelings. And I felt like a lot of times, and I think most people relate to this. I'm not trying to do my woe is me story. My family was just like, you're freaking out about nothing. This is crazy. Or like I even struggle with it
The
now.
eighth sin,
If someone
negating
dies,
feelings.
if I'm not really close to them, I feel really embarrassed being sad. And I don't want to make it about me. Like, if you died, I'd be
If you
freaking
died.
sad.
If you died.
Yeah, if I died, you might be so sad.
Yeah.
But some people would be like, you only podcasted with her twice. Like, why are you crying? Like, get over it. What are you going to do when your mom dies? This is embarrassing.
Listen, Nikki, you know what your problem is?
What?
You're heavy. You put on weight.
I really have actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just got on a scale the other day, man. I like that you made that joke because it means that you don't think that I'm struggling with it right now. But
And that's
I am.
that's a great example of like when somebody says something, understand their intention instead of the thing that was said.
Yeah, like that doesn't hurt my feelings because you would never say it if it was like a very obvious thing.
I think everyone noticed when you walked in. But the shame that maybe I guess you feel, but like you talk about it. That's more specifically like you don't.
Well, now I'm making money by being like this weird thing that my whole family used to be like, why would you say that? Like minivan. Parents both look back like you are weird for saying something like that. Now I'm like, I'm making money off it, mom and dad. Like this thing, this thing that used to be like make me the outcast.
Isn't that what all villains and superheroes are? You know, villains and superheroes, they have something in common. Something happened to them in their formative years.
Yeah.
And do they then take it to empower them, or do they instead use that to like wreak that havoc onto others?
I think
and
that's...
if you're only giving your features 15 minutes, I think you're a villain. We'll be right back.
It's only because the show has to be a certain amount of time.
But
and
how
I
much
do
time do you do? Why do you do so much time?
Because I have a lot in my heart and head.
How much time do you do?
Like an hour and a half.
That's a lot.
It's too much time. I'm
How long
trying
are
to
your
back
specials?
off, but I'm like, and what was it? How much are my shows?
How long are your specials?
An hour.
Because you trim down.
Yes.
You would say you trim the fat?
I got to before I tape my next special.
Right. So when I say you're heavy, I'm not talking about your body. I'm talking about your act.
It is. It's too much. There are some times where I like apologize at that. And I'm like, I know this is too long because I don't even like to watch anyone over an hour, but I just can't stop sometimes. And I think a lot of times headliners, even if I haven't done a headlining set for like a week, I'll be like, what do I even do up there for a whole hour? This is so much time. And so I stack it with like my just lesser jokes. I save all my good stuff because I'm like, I'm waiting to the end until I know that I'm like, okay, I got enough time.
During the act, you mean?
Yeah, during the act. And so I'll do a bunch of filler, and then the filler just, I get to an hour and I go, oh, I haven't even done my molestation
since you know
junk.
that, why don't you try just doing that stuff?
Yeah.
And not saying open, I'm just saying try and just do the stuff where it might only be 40 minutes.
Yes.
And if it is, you could
So
do
be
more.
Yeah.
It won't be.
You're right. You're so right. That's what I'm going to start doing. I need to start refining and being a better comic. And
So I'll do 30. And then you could get to see a good example of what's tight.
I don't know about
I'm happy with 25.
20, Rick.
Here's the thing. I'm happy with 25 and doing about 25. Or I'm happy with 20 and I'll probably be doing 20 to 25.
Okay.
26.
We'll light you at 20. You wrap it up, but
I
it's
need
like
a
might
5-minute
take
light.
5 minutes.
I need a 5-minute light.
Okay.
So you'll light me at 20. If the timing works out and I'm good, I'll be able to
This is fair.
do 25.
Can you go up cold? I'll bring you up. I'll be like, please welcome to the stage. It's Nikki, you guys. Thank you so much for coming to the show. I hope you have the best time tonight. Please come in. I give a great intro, but can you go up with no one in front of you?
First, yes. However, if I'm only doing this once,
Yeah.
then put up somebody for 5 minutes to bring me up.
I'll put up myself for 5 minutes.
Perfect. Then
Because I'll just come out and be like, hey, everyone, I always do a speech about like, if you have social anxiety, don't worry, I'm not going to like
do
do
that.
crowd work. And then I do a couple bits and then I go, oh my God, this guy's one of my favorites. Boom.
Plays
And then
all
bring
the
you
clubs and colleges. But here's the thing. Also, I'll go up cold. I do
I know,
not care
you
about that
can.
at all.
up. And will you do my favorite part?
What's that?
The opener bit?
The headphones?
Yeah, like talking on your phone.
Here's the thing. People keep. I don't post that much of my stand up because I get insecure about doing stuff that people have seen.
Yes, I agree.
And since I've posted that, I don't. And I decided to post it because I don't do it because I already had done it.
Yeah.
So many people talk to me about that bit, and I just like I'm like I don't know if I want to do it because it's such a misdirection bit that if you know what it is, it doesn't work. But as I say that doesn't matter.
No, and my audience it will probably 90% have not seen it. And even if they have, it was so long ago that they're not going to remember you were the guy that they came across. Or, I'm assuming, I hope that they know who you are, but you would have to do it.
Well, they will after
It's
30
so
minutes.
funny. Yeah, it's the best. But I know what you mean. It's a bit that once you see it, you can't do it again.
But but quite the. So I used to do a different set all the time. Sometimes I'd redo a joke, but for the first 10 years, if I did stuff that worked, I thought, yes, did it, and now on to the next.
Yeah.
And I would feel insecure about redoing stuff because then people think I would feel like a liar. So the past
know.
few years, I've been really conscious on really focusing on an act because I want to have this special.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that. And in that, I've developed that like, sometimes it feels not great, but I'm able to do it. A lot of times it's fine. Interpersonally, I have some bits that I do, like that I'll do with you on the podcast or in a person. But it's like there's some bits that like I'll do it 5 times in a night to 5 different people. I don't care. It's my bit, baby. That's one of them. Like when I have headphones on and I'm talking to somebody, I'll do that bit. And it's like, oh, that's Rick's bit. And I don't mind because it feels like a party trick bit.
Yeah.
But when you bring it to the stage, there's something I feel like there's an authenticity that you have to earn before you get to do bits. And since I do so many bits, I feel like I have to still show who I am. I don't know.
You know
Boring
why
shit,
that bit
maybe.
works so well, I think, for especially a new audience, is because to sell the bit, you have to seem so casual and like
That's not a blanketed statement. You have to be a good actor.
yeah, that is true. But that's a part of it for you. You come across so comfortable because you're pretending you're no one knows this yet, but you're on the phone, so you're like, hey, what's up, right? And then when it's finally revealed, I'm giving away the bit. They've seen it, Rick.
No, I'm laughing at the. I don't feel this way, but like if I were watching us and what wasn't us,
Oh, God.
it just feels like very pretentious to break down a childlike bit.
No, this is interesting. I hate when people talk comedy shop and maybe someone will be like, no, Rick was spot on. This is so boring. But the reason that works is, and most of what I think stand-up comedy is just looking comfortable doing it. And so you come out on stage looking as comfortable as you possibly can, because to sell that bit, you have to sell a guy who's just like so at ease, like he doesn't even care. You know, he's on the phone. So they're already so relaxed. Like, who is this guy who is like walking out here at this theater show and seems to be like, hey, what's up? What are you doing?
Cool guy Rick.
Yeah, like, and that guy, everyone just goes, oh God, he's not
Yeah.
nervous. I love this.
Yeah. All right, sorry, I'm doing a podcast. Let me talk to you in a minute. Back. What's up? Cool guy Rick.
I was like, who's this cool guy?
Now here's the trick, and this isn't about headphone bit, and this isn't about bits at all. This is about acting. A
Tell
lot
me.
of people need to worry about their lines because what if they forget? And
Yeah.
the problem with that is now they're thinking about something in here.
Right.
What you need to be thinking about is what's out here.
This is like singing too.
Absolutely. So like if you want to sing like, do you know Josh Turner?
No.
Baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down low. Put the music on the soft and slow. Baby, we ain't got nowhere to go. I hope you understand. I've been thinking about you
Okay.
all day long. Is that enough or more?
No.
Yes, this episode's brought to you by BetterHelp. But enough of me. Let's go to Nikki Glaser. Yes?
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Nikki, do you have any experience in therapy?
Hell yeah, so much.
Yeah.
Many, 18 years.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hi.
What?
What is it that you like about therapy?
People always say, oh, just, I talk to my friends about it, my family, but your friends and family aren't qualified. And it's just someone that you don't have to ask back, like, how are you doing? It's like getting a massage, like where you don't have to massage the person back.
What I like is you could take a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Did you ever think of it that way?
Make your brain your friend. Yes?
With what?
BetterHelp.
All you have to do is visit betterhelp.com/TYSO for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.
Dinosaurs.
No, H-E-L-P.
H-E-L-P /.
.com.
.com. Yes, .com.
Slash.
/TYSO. Yes.
Yes, no, you said dinosaurs because of Jurassic Park.
Dinosaurs.
This episode is sponsored by my Patreon. At patreon.com/takeyourshoesoff, you get exclusive episodes that I made before Rick Glassman Nitro, BTS moments, which we like to refer to as between the snaps, as well as extended endings. We also have the exclusive Goblin Gang sweatshirt that if you want to purchase it, it's $500. Or with a $50 tier, you get it for free. Also, a little inside information. It's actually cheaper than buying a regular sweatshirt because it's free shipping, no tax. It's just $50 out the door, so it's the cheapest sweatshirt technically on the site if you get it from the Patreon. As well as the new podcast, Rick Glassman Nitro, that includes solo episodes and episodes with guests. And here's a little taste. Welcome to another episode of Rick Glassman Nitro. My name's Rick Glassman, and get ready for a crazy episode. We talk about Hillary Clinton, the difference between men and women, black people and white people, white men and white women, black men and black women, and a surprise little twist, the difference between white men and Chinese women.
I'm trying to buy eggs. I didn't know I needed student loans.
Is that your Biden?
No, wait, go ahead.
Yeah, you're gonna be Biden. I'm gonna be Trump.
Okay.
Biden.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah. And Biden goes, come on, man. Right?
It's just a skill set that we don't have.
Yeah, we're
Some
not good
people
at
are
it.
so tapped into that. Donald Trump tried to storm the president's Capitol, maps it out. Pushing, inciting a riot, and tap, clap, napped it out. Biden protected, loved or chose, they canked it out. But then you got the voting rights and the women cop back it out. How you doing? What you doing when you're talking in the back? I have a little ass.
Yeah,
Genetically too, though. Like even when I work it well, it's genetically. I just have a little ass.
You ever think about like blowing it up, like pumping your ass up?
It's raining. Come. What do you do?
Get my umbrella, get a whole bunch of jars, try not to get it on me on my clothes, but save it for when I get home. I'm not gay. I'm not gay, dude. I'm not gay. Dude, you're gay.
We got you on film, man.
Nice grandparents, nice grap. Illegal wrestling moves on the mat. Remember back when making fun of somebody was like, fuck you, I bet you fucking hug and kiss men. It's like, no way. Trust me, if I hugged and kissed men, you'd be the first person to know.
Oh, I guess sometimes there's butterflies. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, wait, maybe that just came out of my butt. Hi.
I still
want
don't know
more?
who it is. But yeah,
The only way
that
you
sounds
could-
really good though.
Thank you. But you can't sing like that if you're thinking about the lines.
Yeah,
You need
you
to
got to
be-
think
you need to
about
be-
the things you're doing like this. I take voice lessons like 3 hours a week.
Now, is that so you don't sound a certain way, or is that so you do sound a certain way?
So to sing. I
Let
want
me
to
hear
be
you
a
sing
singer.
something. Wait, let me hear something.
No,
Really?
I'm too insecure about it. I care too much.
Same.
Yeah.
I-
But do you really?
Yeah.
Well, I could say. I mean,
I know,
I'll
same.
sing with you on something, but I'm not going to try that hard because
Fine,
it's
sing-
really embarrassing.
Sing with me.
Okay.
What's the song? I can show you
the world,
shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last
let
your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by
wonder, over skyways and under,
Sideways.
on this magic carpet ride, a whole new world.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
A new fantastic
Hold your breath.
point of
It gets
view.
better.
No one to tell us no. This is way out of my range. I'm usually
You know, I was planning on. I was
people are
gonna.
gonna be like, she was flat. That was awful.
Yeah, but you can get implants. There was something. I stopped singing and then you kept going, but I was
I got
planning.
nervous.
But I was planning, and when if you stopped when I stopped, I was gonna instruct JonMichael to take my mic out while you were singing. I just want you to know.
That's okay. I'm okay with it because I was trying not to try because there's nothing more embarrassing than someone being like, I really want to prove myself. And then you relax a little bit because singing's all about tension, just like comedy. Like I was just talking about it now. Who wants to talk about
Yeah,
stand-up
singing
comedy?
in comedy is like tension.
But it is about like when you watch, I remember watching Dave Chappelle one time on stage and I said to my friend, he was on at the Cellar, and I'll never forget it because I just had this moment of like, why he's so fucking good. It's a part of it. I mean, obviously he's so funny, but he's just so fucking comfortable. There's nothing that can rattle that guy up there. There's no nerves. There's no tension. And that is what the best art is there's no tension. I mean, obviously tension needs to be built in terms of like a dramatic way. But you build it, you don't need to, not anxiety, not nervousness. The performer themselves can't be scared about this.
I want to argue this.
They can build tension in an artistic way where they're, creating tension, but they need to be.
Watch this.
Okay.
Wrong.
Why do you disagree with everything I say?
How many things have you disagreed with?
Jealousy. Maybe we can travel around this town. Let the cops chase us around. Something, something, something might be found. Check it and race.
I have another thing that I disagree with you about.
Hey, jealousy. What?
I have another thing I disagree with you about.
What?
The fact that you are nervous about singing with that beautiful voice.
Thanks, Rick.
Lust. So first of all, I'll be the second to admit it. I'm a devil's advocate, and I do that because I do it for myself too. Let's hear all the sides. I'm a natural born skeptic challenger, but it doesn't mean that just because I play devil's advocate doesn't mean I don't see your side. Because, but as far
I was joking when I said you disagree with everything. I don't care.
I do that a lot, though.
But it's interesting to do that.
So that works for Chappelle, but what I think is more important, because you're not that.
Oh, I was going to say about the Chappelle. Let me just finish my thought. I looked at him. I go, he's more comfortable up there than I am in bed. Truly. Like he was nothing. Like he's just sitting there, like he's sitting there with a remote, just like nothing can get him down. And that is, the audience just goes, oh, because most audiences when they're watching stand-up, they are thinking, man, if I did that, I'd be so fucking nervous right now. Same with singers or like any musicians. People kind of project themselves into it. I don't want to say everyone. People are going to disagree with me. But generally an audience is thinking, man, he's just getting up there. When you go see Chappelle, you're like, oh, okay, I know he's going to be good. I'm in good hands. But when you're going to a show and you don't know the comics, there's a nervousness. If you sense the person's nervous, Joe Mackey's the one person that I go, oh, he kind of takes that and turns it on its head because he comes out as like, kind of nervous, guys. And he talks like this and he looks like he's like really freaking out the whole time. That's a really good Joe Mackey. Do you know who he is?
I don't, but
he's so
it.
brilliant. But he talks like this and he's saying like one-liners and he's looking around like this. But he fucking kills because people realize, oh, he's very comfortable. That's where
I was going to disagree.
He's making tension, but he's comfortable in that tension. He is an expert at it, and he has no worries about what's going to happen up there. When the audience senses you have worries, they fucking tense up and they don't want to laugh. But you can get up there, and as long as you look comfortable, you can kind of kill with anything.
Well.
Yeah, but you look comfortable doing this. That's the thing. I'm okay with that because even though you look uncomfortable, I know that Rick is actually comfortable at playing this character right now.
But there's a difference between being confident and comfortable and nothing phasing you, which you're saying, versus being nervous or insecure or tentative or anxious.
Right.
But accepting that's what it is that you are. And I feel like I'm that version of it. Because like I am not going up on stage being like, oh,
I don't think that.
And
that's not what I'm talking about.
I'm so anxious, but like I know that's what I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, you are easy to watch because you are in a place where you're comfortable and confident in how good you are. Not in every aspect, because we all have those.
I can't think of what I'm not confident.
But that's why I didn't want to come on
do.
this podcast for so long, because I was going to be nervous coming on.
Why aren't you? Or are you?
Well, I'm not now because you asked me to do it, but then we did Rick and Esther first, and so I was like,
Which
that's an
came
easy.
Out 2 months ago at this point.
Yeah, so that's an easy. But we did it like yesterday.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, you know what? That'll give me a little bit more rapport with Rick, so that I won't be nervous. And then we went to lunch yesterday, and that I was like, oh, well, then I'll be fine for Take Your Shoes Off because I will already know my rapport with him because we talked about it a little bit, and then we got sidetracked on Rick and Esther, but I watched my last showing on here, just as a clip one time, and was like, Jesus Christ, you bitch. Like,
Let's
you're
show
just.
The clip.
Hi, I'm Nikki Glaser. And if you're a guy who I kind of have a flirtation going on with, please do not watch the following clip. People are going to think you have herpes, which we all have.
How candid could I be with you?
I don't have herpes, by the way. I like sex. Don't have it, by the way.
We got to slow down.
Yeah, fun. I don't fart, okay? And I would never. That's queefs you're hearing, by the way.
You go so fast.
I'm the fast talker in comedy.
I know.
Because I will do clubs though still, and like money at all, and I'm very excited to make a lot of money. I kind of want to take a step away from comedy. Our names are so close. They know me from appearances on Howard Stern, Tonight Show.
What? I'm sorry, my headphones haven't been working.
God, God, lighten up.
It was fun editing though.
It was just, I just didn't like the way it came off. And sometimes that happens where I see something of myself and I'm like, oh, I see I see a third person perspective of how you're a lot. But when I watched it from that, I go, oh, I can see how people don't like me. Like, I can see when I get hate from people that are like, she's annoying, shut up.
You're empathizing with villains.
Yeah, like I get it. Like, and I always say this, whatever people don't like me or like, stop having her on podcast. Why do people have her on? All she talks about is her mental issues and her eating disorder and her, like how she's envious of other comics. Like I kind of have the same themes rattling around in my head constantly. And
but
people
you gotta do so many podcasts every week. You do 2 a week, you said.
I used to do 4,
yeah,
but
what
like,
are you gonna talk about? What else is there to talk about other than?
Well, when I go on people's podcasts, I think that's generally what I talk about because I like to connect by talking about things that I know other people struggle with. Like you're a comedian, I'm a comedian. We both probably have like depressive episodes. We both have like envy. We both have anxiety. Like it's just something that I feel like, and I feel like most people, I don't know, it just comes up. So all I'm saying is that I relate to not liking me sometimes. And I related to it in that clip. And then I watched your show, became a fan of your show after doing it. Wasn't familiar with it when I did it. And then.
How many podcasts do you watch? You watch a lot of podcasts?
Not really.
Can I tell you something?
Not comedy. I mean, I listen to podcasts, but I don't do comedy podcasts except yours. And
so you only listen to mine as far as comedy?
Yeah, and I don't listen to like every episode, but I listen to many of them. Not everyone, because it's just like timing or whatever.
I'm joking. You don't need to tell me
a lot. It's not like I just pick and choose. Like
Did you watch the Harry Mack one?
Oh yeah, I love that one. I told you I love that one because I love Harry Mack.
Same.
And you asked all the questions that I wanted to ask him, and we kind of talked about it. I think a little bit afterwards, but I was talking to you about how fascinating that question you asked him about, or you got him to talk about his process of he's thinking ahead like 1 second. Mm-hmm. And I think that
it's not about time. I mean, not to speak for him, but it's like the algorithm. Like it's like, what's the next step? That next step could be in a second. It could be in 5 seconds. It could be at the same time.
Yeah.
But like order of operations, like 1 foot in front of the other doesn't mean you put this foot in front a second sooner. It's just what are the operations and the mechanics. And like,
I love that. That really changed the way I approach stand up because instead of being in the joke that I'm telling the second I'm doing it, or even singing, which I'm struggling, learning how to do.
Are you on stage now?
What?
Are you singing on stage?
A little bit, yeah.
Nice.
Working it in. FBoy Island, season 3, you'll see me sing a song. And then F Girl Island, you'll see me sing a song. So I'm working it in to do, I would like to do serious music at some point, but for right now, just comedy stuff. But I'm always like, oh, you should be in the moment. That's the best artist is like, they're just right in it. But I think the best is just 1 second ahead. And I always was doing that and fighting it because I was like, I want to be in the moment. But when he said that, I was like, I think that's the trick is being just a second ahead, having a little idea of where you're going. But
it's not being in the moment.
You're not abandoning where you are.
Yeah, you're still there. It's just how big is your moment?
Yes.
Like I'm here with you, but I'm aware that there is a balcony right there. So like if I were to hear a noise that sounds like it's from outside, my instinct would be it's right there. So it's just having awareness of what exists.
Yes.
Great example of like if you're juggling.
Analogy off.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're juggling, right? I look at a lot of times juggling bits and I love having so many bits. Give me more balls. And what's great about having a ton of them is when you're doing it, you don't have to keep it even paced and throw them as high. You could take one and throw it a lot higher. So you don't have to worry about that one for a little bit, but it's still there. And at any moment you could grab it again.
Whoa.
So when you're doing these things, when you're being present doesn't mean what balls am I holding? It's also just that muscle memory and that instinct of like knowing you're doing this, but also the preparation is knowing when to throw it higher and then when to catch it. So
can you juggle?
Looks like they're right. Looks like they're right. Whoa!
Looks like you can.
I could juggle a little bit. I'm really good at space work.
I don't know what that means. Like miming is space work?
You could actually even throw me one in a second, but when you throw it high, okay?
Okay.
Throw one in. You know, like I could do that really well.
Usually.
Are you saying that wasn't good?
No, it was good.
But But yeah, so anyway.
That's cool. Yeah, I liked that episode. But yeah, when I watched back the one of mine, so I was nervous to come on here if I was going to be nervous, and that's why I kept saying no, I can't do it yet. Like I'm too nervous. I respect
wrong
your
with being nervous?
Is that a song?
Yeah.
What is it? Josh Tucker?
David Duchovny did it on Californications.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, he's a singer.
No, I'm joking.
Oh, he is? Okay. But yeah.
But what's wrong with being nervous?
It makes you bad at your art.
Wrong. It only makes you bad at your art if you're trying to not be nervous.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but I don't want to be nervous.
But sometimes you are.
Yeah.
So be nervous.
So if you're comfortable being nervous, that's a different thing. But I think that would inherently mean that you're not nervous anymore because you're comfortable with
the Bill Burr episode that we talked about at the beginning.
Yes.
I was nervous for most of it.
Well,
but I wasn't trying to dry my palms. I wasn't looking
That's
for the
so weird
confidence.
because I was recently like at the store and he had to bring me up, which I would just want to say he's a fucking mensch. He's the nicest guy because I've had some issues with some guys like running the light and stuff where I'm just like noticing things. Yeah, but that'll be okay because we've talked about it and we know what you're gonna do. But there's like some people that I've just noticed like you're going 11 minutes over on a stacked lineup where you think you're the most famous person here, so you can just do that. And even if you were, it's still not a nice thing to do. And now you're gonna make the second show run late. Who do you think you are? We get it. You think you're like the king of comedy right now, but you ain't. And I'm a little pissed off. And I'm gonna talk to the sound guy and find out exactly how much time you went over. So I'm justified in my anger right now, which is what I did. And he went 11 minutes over, and it's not cool. And I go, and I'm like, this is like what's wrath.
That's what your headphones are supposed to do for you.
What?
That's what your headphones do for you.
Okay, so I was like, look at people will be like, wow, she does look better.
Yeah, you
okay.
do. You want to do that for the thumbnail so we can make you give me a thumbnail pic?
Let me just, but how do I make it look like? You could tell I did the Adam Ray's podcast and you can tell I'm doing a lot of this and I realized like, oh, you're trying to look young.
It's kind of like Donna in Suits who does this a lot.
Yeah, like there is a way to like, so thumbnail.
Yeah, you know, you can
wait,
pretend
like
you're singing.
Just this side.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Good.
And then this side is like, whoa. Okay.
Gravity. My girlfriend actually told me that you talked about how like you did an episode where you talked about a conversation where on your podcast where like the most you could go over is like 4
Oh yeah,
or
she
5.
heard me rant about this guy. The most you go over is 4 or 5, and that's if like you're like stuck in a bit and you're like, oh fuck, I'm just trying to like kill because where I was supposed to end, like it was a really dud. We all understand that. 5 is like, come on, dude. But 11 is disgusting and it's rude and you need to apologize to everyone because you should know that you went over that long.
So I'd like to issue a public apology for something.
Why? What?
I was at the Improv doing my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was supposed to do 15. When I was done, I got off stage, it was low 18s. But I also started it
That's okay.
right before they brought me up. So I'm probably 3 minutes over. Then I got off, and then I sometimes will get the audience to chant my name.
Yeah.
And now, thankfully, people do it without me asking.
That's
so
awesome.
like it's kind of like so people are chanting Rick. So when that happens, great. But then sometimes I'll
on the way out.
Yeah. So I know they're not really asking for more Rick.
Sure.
They're just doing. They're
But the
just saying,
person
hey, I know
following you doesn't know that.
Well, not even that. I mean, probably not.
Right.
But so I get off stage and they start chanting Rick, and I go. And by the way, by they I mean 4 people.
Sure. Yeah.
And then play. Fine. I'm so put off that I have to go back on stage and take the microphone out of the host's hand and, playing in arrogance, push the host aside, how we feel, and I'm joking. And getting off. And then as I'm getting off and that now the bit's over, I go, Rick. So they start doing it.
Amazing.
So now I'm, like in this, and that's an extra, couple minutes. So I'm getting off stage and I'm just like, play. There's more show.
That's great because you're doing a bit and you're making fun of the thing I hate so much, which is when comedians also go, man, I don't want to go, and then people go, don't go, and then they're like obviously going to hate the next person because the next person's the one forcing this guy to have to wrap it up.
It would be me. Nikki wants to go up.
I don't want. You guys are so fun. I don't want to leave.
But there was a comic who was going up after me, who I don't know very well.
Oh right.
And I saw her. and she said in a playful but heavily inspired way, "What was that?"
Right.
In a very, very fair question.
Sure.
Very fair. And I went, honestly, there's not enough time. They're about to go. I just went,
Yeah.
You know, and then later the host told me that comic had another spot later and asked the host if she could go up before me. And he goes, "I don't know. You have to ask him." And she didn't ask me. So she was in a rush and I ran the light by 5 minutes. But
that's happened to me. But
I did feel a little because like it was a little over 3 minutes before the couple of minutes of
okay. So
Rick
you
Rick.
went 4.5 minutes over.
I probably went. If I had to bet, it was in the 5 minutes, but 5.5 plus.
So she has a right to be a little annoyed, but you didn't know if you knew that she was in a rush.
I would have let her go before me.
Of course. And you would have probably not done that as long as you did.
I would have not done that or
minutes,
let her go before me.
If you're already 5 minutes over and then you start a new bit, 5 minutes over and you're killing and you just can't get enough of this killing.
Going 11
you're
minutes
an
over,
asshole.
it's a percentage thing, right? Like if you're supposed
15
to do
15 minutes and you go 11 minutes over,
Right.
that's 90% of 7. What are percentages? 70% more?
If you were doing an hour and you did 71 minutes,
This guy does
not
always
that
give
big of a deal.
170%. That's what he always says.
Yeah.
I love those people that always say that. But anyway, Bill Burr, I said, now this guy is not that went over 11 minutes and didn't say anything to any of us afterwards, is not anywhere close to as great of a comedian or ever will be as great as Bill Burr. But Bill Burr, I was at the Comedy Store like a week prior and
Richard?
I almost did it. I thought you were going to get so. And I get there and they go, "Hey, Bill Burr just came in and he's going to do some time before you." And I'm like, "Of course. Yes. Like, duh. I'm excited. I get to watch it." And in no way did I think this guy would check on with me to do it because he doesn't need to. He's Bill Burr. And I also know that he's not a type of person to do like 45 minutes in the middle of a showcase show or whatever. So I'm sitting in the back and I'm watching the guy before him. And he comes in, and we're not like buds or anything. And he goes, "Hey, would it be okay if I went up before you?" And I go, "Oh my God, yes, please. I'm so excited to get to watch you." And he's like, "Are you sure? Like, you're good?" And I'm like,
and he did your whole
so
act.
nice. And
he goes up there and he does my entire act. But to his respect, just 15 minutes of it.
He doesn't like getting his pussy eaten either, I guess.
I don't know that about you. Do you not? You makes you nervous?
No. That's not. I just pictured what people think maybe I talk about,
Right.
but no.
That's
I don't
funny.
really care. I don't really need it. I'm kind of just. I get lonely. Like I'm just like all alone up there, and I'm just like I did a bit about it on my last special, but I'm not trying to recall a bit. I'm just like that is how I feel. I just kind of get lonely. But he went up and did a normal amount of time, 15 minutes or under, and then, I was reminded of it because I was like, oh my God, he's bringing me up. Like, I'm almost like embarrassed. He has to like come up with some credits for me. Like, oh, Bill doesn't want to have to like think about what I've done.
Nikki.
And it's
You're
like,
so hard on yourself.
I don't want him to like have to like reach through his brain to be like, oh, what do I say about this? Like, I don't even want him to have to worry about getting my name right, which he did get it right, which I would have expected him to say Glaser or something. Like, I would have been like, he should say it wrong. Like, he's Bill Burr, but he got it right. And he said really nice things. But then I was so nervous about my hand. And my hands started sweat. And my hands aren't usually sweaty, but man, they were sweaty. And I was like, oh, now he's going to probably go like, ugh, afterwards. So I was doing this a lot.
Yeah.
But it just reminded me of like, I've been bumped by so many comics who think they're Bill Burr and think they're so cool and don't ask. And it was just really cool of him. And I really like who the person he's become after doing mushrooms. Like
after doing my podcast.
Yeah. Did you guys do mushrooms?
No, he changed after that.
That was
this the main room at the Comedy Store?
This is the OR, original room.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was really cool. I would never have been like, can you believe Bill Burr bumped me and didn't even get my name right? I was never even cared. I would have expected it. But that's the type of person I want to be. And the type of person that you could just tell that's a good person. And he wasn't trying to like, he doesn't owe me anything. Like, it was just awesome. And it just showed me how shitty this other person was. And I was just like, man, I can't wait till this person falls out of favor. This is the bad part of me. I should wish this person all the best things in the
We're
world.
going to absolutely bleep it. I got to know who it is.
You really? You promise you'll bleep it?
Even if you didn't want me
Even
to.
I don't want your editor to
Listen,
know. I'll tell you later.
If you didn't want me to bleep it and you wanted people to hear it, I would still bleep it. Got you. Well, it's bleeped. And I'll bet you my editor could have guessed who it was.
I know. Most people did.
I have a story of somebody who is much higher up on the food chain that was asked to go in front of, was to bump me. And
It was a shark? Because it was high up on the food chain. Sorry, I was late to that one.
It's okay.
It wasn't even
I
a
did
pun.
just watch Meg too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that about? It's about a shark.
Yeah, it's about a megalodon.
Oh.
Yeah.
2?
Yeah. Like as well.
Did you like?
Also.
Oh.
It was campy. It's fun. I like
Yeah.
the first one better.
Okay.
So I'm doing an Adam Ray and Friends show at the Comedy Store in the main room, and I am up next. And Dave Attell, who was not necessarily on the show, maybe he was on the lineup at least, comes in, and I'm standing behind the curtain. I'm going on soon, and Adam, who's next to Attell, goes, "Rick," and I'm walking over, and he goes, "Is it okay if Dave goes in front of you?" I don't remember if Dave said, "Is it okay if I think Adam did. One of the two said, "Is it okay?" And of course, I don't care.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm staying anyway. I would stay and want to watch him, so
Yeah.
I'll watch before. Who cares?
Who cares? Totally.
In my head, I'm thinking that's such an obvious point of view. So I say, so we're coming down the steps where to get that back door is, and I come down and I go, "Not gonna happen, Dave." I've never met Dave Attell. He's incredible. And he goes, "No problem. I'll go up after you."
He's the nicest too.
I go,
courteous.
I go, "Dave, I'm joking. Please." He goes, No, I get it. And I go,
"Oh no."
I go, at the time, I don't feel any stakes. I feel like he doesn't care and I don't care.
Right.
So I'm just like, all right, well, whatever you want. I'm here anyway. I'm going to want to watch. And Adam was a little bit like, to me, like, "What are you doing?" Right. And I'm like, I don't. So I could tell that Adam didn't like that I wouldn't let. I'm not going to speak for Adam. I'll tell you, just the energy was like, now I'm playing, who cares? And I'm like, ooh, I think I need to fix something because,
right.
It wasn't.
You were doing a bit.
I have an analogy that I came up with a long time ago. I was dating somebody. Jackie Tone. Do you know Jackie?
I love Jackie Tone. You dated Jackie Tone? Oh,
Yeah,
I know someone else who dated her, and I love him too.
Kyle Dunnigan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just on my pod.
Oh
we
my
met for
God.
the first time podcasting.
She's awesome. Okay, cool.
So I went to her. I went out. We were just starting dating, and we went out somewhere, and I met some of her friends. And one of the friends I met, I said I do these bits, and I'll do them all the time.
Yeah.
It's just a bit I have. I meet the person. I shake the person's hand, and after I shake the hand, and when I pull it away, I go like this. Like as if they missed. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Put it behind.
Oh, okay. Like you miss it.
Yeah. So you for the audio only people, you pull your hand away and you're like, ooh, too slow, and you like slick your hair back.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I do that, but I shake their hand first. So then when I pull away, I'm not really disrespecting them. I don't remember the feeling. I don't remember what it was then. I just remember what I felt was then, which was, I don't think he was rolling the floor laughing, but he laughed. It was whatever. It was funny. It was just a little joke. She told me later that it made her uncomfortable that I would do that. Like, those people don't know me yet, and I'm a representation of her, and
right,
no wrong. She's allowed to feel that way as much as I'm allowed to do bits. But at a certain point, who do you prioritize in that moment? It's not my friends, it's her stuff. So I thought, like, I'm allowed to gamble, but only with my money. And that was like, oh, I was gambling with her money.
Oh, that's a really good analogy.
So like, there is an example of, thank you. So there was an example of like, I didn't necessarily agree with what Adam was saying, but that's irrelevant because like, this is his show. He put me on his show. He didn't like this thing. I don't know what his relationship is with Attell and or as a booker with his comics. So I did feel a little like, ugh.
I like this. I like who you are because I think a lot of times people, especially when we get called out on being like, that wasn't cool. Like we were talking about this yesterday on Rick and Esther, but I think women struggle more than men with like, if someone goes like, I didn't like what you did, we go like, I'm a bad person and like, I should kill myself. And like, like we just go to like, if someone's mad at me or someone didn't like what I do, I'm a bad person. But men can kind of recover from that a little bit better. And I'm
think men get more defensive though.
Yes. And I like that you don't get defensive. I try to do that too, where I go, they're allowed to be mad. Like, why am I always allowed to be mad at everyone, but no one's ever allowed to be mad at me?
They're allowed to be mad and you're allowed to disagree.
I'm allowed to disagree. And I'm allowed to just go, you know what? This is their night. This is Adam's show. Yeah. And this is Jackie's friends. And you see it from her perspective. I think that people always think they're empathetic. I think people are more sympathetic. I think this is kind of like envy and jealousy. The differences.
I always think of envy, jealousy, sympathy, and empathy. The same thing.
Yeah.
Sympathy is you've gone through it. You know what it's like. Empathy is like you could imagine through something different.
But I think people think they're empathetic and they're not. Like I wasn't empathetic until really late in life. I wasn't shown it as a child. My parents were just like, I wouldn't do that. So why should you do that?
You don't like being eaten out?
Yeah, I think I need to like
understand
why you would like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though in my special I did relate it to like my friend. I was talking about how I could never be a lesbian because I'm like, ew, I don't eat pussy. Like, ugh. And my friend Sabrina Jalil's brilliant comedian. She was like, did you like want to suck a dick? Were you like craving that? And it's like, oh no, that at first was disgusting too. Now I like it. Like everything's going to be gross at first. And then I relate it to coffee. Like when you're a kid, coffee's like, how could anyone drink that? Like you take a sip and you're like, whoa. And then now I need it every day. So like I could probably enjoy eating pussy.
Is there a reason you did two analogies there? Did you feel the first one wasn't strong enough?
No, well, the first one wasn't mine. It was Sabrina's. And then I sometimes when I'm trying to do a bit, a lot of my stand up, I'm trying to get the audience just to like to actually empathize, to see something from a different perspective. Like we were talking about on Rick and Esther, but I'm tired of small penis jokes. And I had this moment.
Because you were bullied for having a little penis.
I actually was. Uh-huh. Like my clitoral hood is probably more significant than others.
It's funny that you said hood. You know, I found out a clitoris is actually like 5 or so inches.
Because it goes deep in.
Yeah.
It's like it's our penis. It's like when we're zygotes or whatever.
Pun intended?
What?
You said become.
When I was cum, it's so weird I was cum.
Yeah, well, that's not a thing. So my girlfriend and I were having this conversation because we were doing this trivia stuff, and the clitoris, that's where I found out, is apparently 5 or 6 inches long. But like I don't think that's a trick question.
Because like, it's what you see.
Yeah.
We'll talk about what we see.
Yeah.
And it has nerve endings that like go up into your belly button.
Like
or whatever,
if you think somebody has a big tongue, you're thinking like this. But like if you pull the tongue out, it's like real long.
Yes. Mine goes down to my clit. So
good merch. But also we're kind of going like this and stuff, and I want to get back
I want to just get back to the penis thing. I actually did think I was shamed for having a little penis, because when I was little and taking a bath with my sister, she would be like, Nikki has a penis, because I was older than her, and so my genitals were like becoming mature faster. And so then
I thought when you guys were showering together when we were
like taking a bath, I was probably like not like 7 or 9, like, you know, in that age where it's like she's 5, I'm 7 or whatever. I have a clitoral hood, I think, that is not like, it's like the size of like a pistachio shell, but I guess it just was like significant enough that my sister was like, she has a penis, and I was like, do
you have to pull it up so much more, like for it to be like, it sounds like an uncircumcised
I kind of have
penis.
to like, I don't have to go like, I don't have to be like
space
but I just go like, you know, like, but I have a very small clit. My clit is like the size of a tiny little.
I have a good metaphor for that now. It's
BB bullet.
I'm picturing like one of those, like if there's a really important button, like a nuclear bomb.
Yes, and those
you have to do the thing first.
Yes.
You have to lift the thing.
Like Deal or No Deal, when they slam the clit hood. Yes.
This should be called the 4 Neurotic Jews. That's what I think.
What should be called?
This podcast.
Okay, so what
are you? You're not too neurotic.
Oh, I'm neurotic.
Yeah,
no,
you're
just
over
high.
the tray, are you?
I'm over the tray. Howie, I'm here.
Oh, you're over the plate. He's over a plate. He's over a plate.
No deal.
Listen to these two guys now.
So,
but we were talking about. Oh, I didn't finish the Dave Attell thing.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
No need to apologize. Just don't do it again. But wait, is there more penis stuff? Do you want to talk about more penis stuff?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. So now I'm like, listen, Dave could go up or I could go up. None of this matters. But Dave is now outside that back door. So I'm like, I guess I got to clean this mess up. So I go out there, I go, Dave. And I don't know him. And I am very confident he could see on me. He may not know why. I don't know if he thinks I feel bad or I'm worried, like I'm for Adam or whatever. But I think he sees there's like, Rick wants something from me. And the thing he wants from me is like to undo that bit, right? So he sees that, and to me, like I see him seeing it, and I like this. I think he's holding it over my head as play, which validates for me even more. None of this shit matters.
No,
but I go, Dave, you gotta go up before me. He goes, no, I'm not gonna do it. You know, I'm like,
yeah, okay. So now he's in on it.
That's what I think. But Adam isn't out there for this. So I go, Dave, I'm staying to watch you. I would be honored to follow you. Like you.
Okay.
He goes, no, you better do it, and you better do real well. And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking like, because I'm already feeling, sometimes you don't know how your set's going to go, but sometimes you feel like I'm so funny. And at least you have that extra edge, which how long does that last? But usually it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling like, watch me. I feel like I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm going to be good tonight. But he's like going to him like, ugh. And then Adam comes out. And then I'm like, Adam, I'm trying here. Like, and he goes, no. And then, and Adam's like, please just blah, 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 blah. But then I went up, great set. And then he goes up and he's talking about me for the first few minutes.
Really?
And then he talks to me at the end of his set.
Yes.
Which I know he does those things.
Yeah,
but I'm
that
feeling
means
like great.
that you're in.
Well, it just means that like, it's all okay.
It's all okay.
But there still was like there was like a disconnect to like, did my bit get in somebody else's way? Yes. But my feeling is like, I'm not going to not do these bits. I'm not going to not. Now, I now have a better understanding. Like, that's a very specific situation. So, like, if now I'm doing another show with him, or to be probably anybody, and somebody says that, if I don't know the person, I'll probably swallow that bit.
Yeah.
Because that's a very specific.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. But, like, I'm doing that for the other person.
Yeah, that's nice. And for yourself to avoid all of this bullshit that happened afterwards.
So when I said earlier, this is going to be easy, the thing with you.
Yeah.
Even if I do a bit that you don't get because you're not like, aren't capable of understanding those kinds of bits, or if like even if you didn't like it, whatever. Like I feel. Also, to be fair to Adam, it's a very specific case. Adam, I mean, there's nobody who I'd love doing. I mean, he's the king. He's done on my podcast 18 times. I mean, like, we're always doing bits. But, there's different situations where you're a host and blah, blah, blah. But, like, I don't feel any concern about missing a bit with you.
Oh, that's nice.
And that is a sense of safety.
That's so good.
I'm overcoming.
The first time I met you, oh my God, I was just so irritated and like you made me so uncomfortable and I couldn't.
Where was it? Before you go, I have to do one more thing in case it wasn't obvious enough. Adam is the best, and I love Adam. And
Adam,
I wasn't saying anything.
Adam. Nothing you said is going to upset him.
It's a very specific thing.
And he's running a show, and he's trying to make sure, like, he's so happy Dave is there. He doesn't want to fuck up getting Dave booked on another one. Like, he's just.
That was another thing that, like, I had to understand. Like, wait, Adam, we all do these bits, but like, I misread the pressure you're feeling now. But anyway, go ahead.
But when I first met you,
where?
I
Tell
remember.
me where and when.
I don't think I've ever been more irritated by someone in my life.
Tell me where and when, so I could.
Okay,
put myself there.
sorry. It was at Joel Gallen's house for the roast viewing.
Okay.
I had done the roast of, I think it was like maybe Bruce Willis. I don't remember which one. It was the second roast I did. It was years and years ago. You and Brent were there. And it was the first time I like met you. I think maybe I'd heard of you and I knew that you were the guy that like not yet passed or whatever. I knew you as that guy, but I didn't like know you. It was
not
before
yet passed. I didn't have that merch or anything then.
You did it maybe you didn't. I don't know. I just didn't know that much. I didn't know you at all.
Like 2014, 2015.
Yes. No. This was like
When was the roast of Bruce Willis?
20.
Came out 2018. So
2018. Okay.
2018 or 2017.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it was all of us at Joel Gallen's house for this viewing, and then we went out to get ice cream. You, me, Brent, and someone else, another girl.
At
Llewellyn's? Llewellyn's?
No, it was bleep the name.
Okay. But when it was, do you remember there's another girl? You probably don't even remember this whole thing happening. But anyway, I just couldn't, there was not a flow with you. I didn't understand you. It was like upsetting to me. You were doing bits. I didn't know they were bits because you were so in them. And I was just so frustrated because I couldn't have a normal conversation with you. It was like stunted. I thought you were like kind of mean, but and I was like really irritated, but I also knew that I like wanted to be your friend so badly because I thought you were funny, but I was also like, why is he mean and antagonistic and all of these things? And then I learned that you have autism.
I hate that that's not the reason.
No, it's not I know it's not the reason.
It's
kind of. No?
No. The only thing that I could connect to that was me.
I'm sorry if that offended you.
I'm not offended. I'm just wanting.
Please correct me.
I just want to make sure I speak up that like
yeah.
that those two things exist at the same time, and they're not circumstantial. It's not like here's the part of that could make sense is that's not why I was whatever jokes were mean or aggressive or annoying or whatever. Isn't the autism, it has nothing to do with it. The only thing that could be was that me not picking up that you felt that way.
Yes.
But being
no, I agree with you. That is exactly, thank you
autism.
for saying that, because that is articulating exactly how I felt. I wasn't able to get through to you that it wasn't like, I just felt like you weren't picking up on my, I think that's how I felt.
I guess
and
I wasn't seeing you do this. How else would I know?
I get it. Well, I'm not saying that I have autism, but I really relate to it. And when I learned that about you, I first of all, it's not something I think about when I'm with you, or like, honestly, it doesn't occur to me even at all. I'm not like, oh, I'm hanging out with an autistic person. It's never even entered my mind ever since the moment I was like, oh, that's maybe a little bit of the thing. Now I'm getting uncomfortable because I feel like I offended you, and I really don't want anyone who has autism to think that like I'm just like,
it's too late.
Oh, people have autism. But it was so frustrating to me. But I'm so glad we're past that hump, and it was all me. Like, it was all the way I was responding to it. I just didn't get your sense of humor.
But what was on you was you not saying that.
Yes.
That's the only thing that's on you.
Yeah, because if I would have been like, I don't like this. What is this? Why are you like, why are you being like this? Do you not like me?
Right.
Why don't you like me? I'm trying to get you to like me. That would have made it more smooth. But I think that was.
Yeah, I had no idea until just now. And now I feel like
terrible.
a real piece of shit.
You shouldn't, because I immediately I felt like one, because I was like, this. I know this guy is funny and beloved, and I'm so dying
Was I beloved?
to get in there. Yeah,
I was joking, by the way. I don't feel bad. Like this.
I know you don't.
I
know you don't.
like this stuff.
I'm a little sweaty right now because I feel like I said the wrong thing, but not because you made me feel that way. Please don't take it that way. I feel like I know I did say the wrong thing.
Let me offer some perspective.
Please.
Saying the wrong thing is that idea that is really putting a lot of pressure on yourself, because it's assuming that you know everything. That's not the issue.
That's a good point.
In an analogy to me and Adam, me saying that to Dave, nope. It's like I come up before you. I'm like, not a chance in hell, Dave, or you have to fight me for it. Whatever joke I said, you could argue is the wrong thing. I will not subscribe to that.
Oh,
it just was. It's everything.
What about
Everything is
Kramer, the Laugh
complicated.
Factory?
Let me finish this first.
Okay.
Because that was somebody saying something, somebody be reacting as opposed to consciously making a choice to do something. Like that's, you fucked up, But the issue that you're feeling, to me, feels like it's not that you felt bad right after it came out. It wasn't until I responded and you're like, oh, and you now didn't like the thing.
No, as soon as it came out, I was like, ugh, this doesn't sound good.
Okay.
I felt it as soon as it came out. I was like, why did you even go here? But I think that's just something I just like autistic people so much, and I like to talk about it.
I want to get the analogy out though.
Okay, get it.
When I did the joke to Dave and then found out Adam doesn't like it, looking back, should I not do that again? Sure, don't do that again.
Okay.
Rick, did you do something wrong? Maybe, but what would be wrong is me not hearing Adam. What would be wrong is me saying "fuck you, Adam," and getting defensive about it. So,
learning from it is, if you didn't learn from it, that would be the wrong thing.
So having this mindset of, ooh, I said the wrong thing, then also censors your curiosity, your questioning, your freedom, your comfort levels. Say whatever. It's not coming from a hateful place.
Thank you.
So cut yourself some slack with that.
Thank you. I really like what you just said.
Maybe don't say it again, but I'm joking.
No, I appreciate what you're saying, and I also agree with it. Like, I got into like kind of not an argument with Bill Maher, but I was on Bill Maher's show.
What show?
His Real Time with Bill Maher.
When?
2 Junes ago.
I don't think I saw it. I've watched every one of them, I think, for the past 3-4 years.
Well, you should check it out. I'm actually really proud of it, because I was talking about being nervous about being on something. I was like, why am I on the show? I don't know anything about politics.
Yeah.
And he put me at ease, saying, I just want to talk about what you want. You have opinions about what you like or what, I'm not going to try to
What were
get
you? Where were you? What were you on the panel?
I was, thank God, I just did an interview like after he does his monologue. He just was like, boom, 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 boom.
Right.
And he walks over and I sit down.
What were you promoting at the time?
I was promoting FBoy Island.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And did you guys hug or shake hands?
I think it was during COVID and I think we just waved politely. But he's now a good friend of mine. But at the time it was like a little bit, and it was weird.
Kyle
between
Dunnigan
us.
has some Bill Maritz beef.
Yes. Yeah. I don't, they're two people I can have as friends at the same time. But he was talking to me about never apologizing for a joke, how comedians should never apologize. And I said, really? Never apologize? So you never say anything wrong? I think I just don't. And I think I got through to him because I was just like, no, of course you do. I say things wrong all the time. When I'm on stage and I say something that, I do jokes about autism. I do jokes about people who have been molested. I haven't been molested. I do jokes about rape victims, not about rape victims, but about being a rape victim. I'm not a rape victim. I have a right to do those jokes. If I offend someone or like have a wrong take, and all on my podcast all the time, which your girlfriend has probably heard me say this a million times if she listens, I have takes and I go, if someone out there is offended by this and this deeply hurt you, that your friend Nikki, who you feel close with, like has a wrong take, let me know. I'm not going to be like, well, that's my take. Not apologizing for anything. Crystalia, 2017. Yeah.
I tried to do the Bill Maher song and I did Shark Tank.
I'm out. And but I will go, really, thank you for letting me know that hurt your feelings. I never want to hurt your feelings. And now I'll proceed with caution better on that joke. Yeah. Or I'll still do that joke, but I'll say a little caveat before it of like, I know this might trigger some,
Like a fish egg?
Caviar. That's good.
Fun hat.
Tip of the cap. Yeah, so I like what you're saying of like, okay, I said a thing that didn't come out right. Now, before I maybe do that bit, let's call it a bit, because in the way that you're thinking of like, maybe I don't need to do that bit every time. I'm just going to go, just maybe pause.
Also, you didn't even say something that was wrong.
I attributed me not getting along with you because you have autism.
Yeah, but also there was a little bit that implication that I like assumed onto it, but I just wanted to clarify.
No. I like that.
Yeah, I like when people say like, hey, I didn't like that. Well, I then get to ask why, and then I could choose to then change the way I do it or be like, I don't agree with that logic.
See, I'm going into my nervous girl thing of like, you're like, I got the sense of like, I don't like that. And I'm like, I'm in trouble. You're going to hate me forever. I'm a bad person. I should probably kill myself.
Question. Do you think if you could remove yourself for a second, I have the right to not like something?
Yes.
Could you at least subscribe to that?
Yeah.
So then why is it such a big deal if I don't like something?
It's just my trauma response.
This is where I was getting actually into earlier when I said you've talked about you're not really a jealous person, but you are this. So like everybody has their sensitivities.
Like I'm not jealous in a relationship is what we were talking about at lunch. Like I'm not a girl that will ever care if my boyfriend like talks to a girl or something. I kind of think if you like her better, then go be with her. Like I'm not going to try to keep you from her. I want you to choose me every day. So I think that when girls are jealous, I'm kind of like, and they go like, don't talk to her. I'm like, ew. So like now you know he wants to, and you're just like caging him. Like I want my dog to like want to hang. I'm not calling boyfriends dogs, but I want my dog to not always like, oh, I have to be with her. I just want them to choose me. So I'm always like, go do it if you want.
Don't get a golden retriever because they're going to like everybody, but it doesn't mean they want to live with them.
I would never get a golden retriever because I don't believe in breeding dogs. I mean, they're lovely and if you have them, great, but you know what you did. A dog got euthanized today because you had to get a golden retriever.
This is the thing that women do. This is why I try not to have too many women on my podcast.
Why?
Because they're always talking about like how
animal
big their
rights?
clit is and no puppy mills.
But yeah, I'm just not. I think it's weird to be jealous.
Have I showed you my impression of a cat getting head?
No. Is he just like, I'm getting head?
The girl's giving it from here.
Oh, I get it. Oh, that's good. Oh, I thought he was just like, yes, I'm getting head. Like that's what, I don't know what guys do when I'm down there. So maybe that
You don't look at their hands when they're down there? I'm usually going like this.
Lining up the shot.
Yeah, she's usually right around there. I'm here. I'll have to ask my girlfriend if I can do this, but I might cut to a clip of her sucking my dick.
She seems cool enough to be like, yeah.
I don't know if
I mean, like a fake clip.
Yeah, but is cool saying yeah, or is cool saying no? Because to
Cool
me,
is-
I would want her to say no.
Yeah, Cool is doing whatever she thinks would be best for the podcast.
But that's prioritizing the podcast over privacy.
Or, well, like whatever she's comfortable with that would...
Pun intended?
What?
Comfort.
Oh, because we were talking about it before?
I was talking about come.
Come for
Come for it.
Come for it.
Like her pet name for me is Fort. So when it's time for me to finish, she says, come Fort. Which is what you could say if you ever had a golden retriever named Fort as well. Yeah, I would not want my girlfriend to be okay with me showing that.
Yes, I agree with what you're saying. I was just saying, like, she just seems like she's not scared of looking ridiculous, like doing something silly.
Correct.
Was my point.
Which is up there with one of the things that are necessary to be in a relationship.
With you, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I have discomfort of like you do a lot of like farting and pooping things, like, and I'd be okay with that here.
Even through your legs?
I'm sorry. It's actually period blood. It's the first day, so it's a little brown.
Let me inject you.
I'm sorry.
It's not.
Do you have a
stop
tampon?
apologizing for things.
Okay, well, you're very understanding. I can't believe that you had to put this down, but you're willing to get that all over you.
Do you think you're the top 5 funniest female comedians working today?
I think I'm the top 5 hardworkingest, and so therefore, like, Rick, all I'm saying is that
Do you think women are funny?
Yes.
Do you think men are funny?
Yes.
Do you really?
Here's why. Let me just say.
Sure.
I don't think that women or men are born funnier than
Yeah, you're a
each
big
other.
nature nurture person.
Yes. What I do believe is that women are not encouraged to be as funny as children, and so they don't have as good of sense of humors into adulthood. Right. And it's not their fault, and I'm not saying that it's because they're stupid or not funny. Oh. And I think that I had to battle a lot of that. Like,
that's why you're so hardworking. Also, keep going, but I just want to make sure that people know, if you don't, I was asking a ridiculous question because that's what people talk about on podcasts, and I was joking.
Oh, I took it seriously.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll talk to New York people, be like, they're getting the difference between New York and LA, and I'm like, I'm joking.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. That's a good. It's asked so often. Not that exact question. I don't think someone asked that like that pointedly. Like, do you think you're the top or whatever? But what people say that about me, and I'm just always like, I don't know about that.
Who are the big ones up there now?
The big Ali Wong, Taylor Tomlinson, Schumer, Eliza, Whitney.
Would you say that the last
I'm
three?
sorry if I left Rachel Feinstein, Rosebud Baker.
There are 3 of them that you only said one name. Is it fair to say if you only say one name, they're higher than the other ones?
Did I said Eliza was one name. Whitney. We just know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, Eliza only goes by Eliza now, so I was trying to respect the way she likes to be called. And then
how she identifies.
How she identifies. And then I think Whitney, I just know that your audience is probably familiar. And yeah, so I think, if you go by one name, you probably are pretty well known. I know there's Chelsea Handler.
If somebody said, like talking about some of the funniest comedians, and somebody said, good, you had to get a black one in there. If somebody said
Tiffany.
You said Wanda Sykes, but you didn't say Haddish.
I don't know, I'm just playing around here.
You think
Tiffany was 3 syllables, Wanda Sykes 3 syllables.
Yeah, but Wanda. I know one's gonna be like, which Wanda are we talking about?
I don't think anyone
We're talking
says
about from
Wanda.
Black Panther?
They just say Wanda. Wanda Sykes just sounds right.
Yeah, but if anybody said Wanda and somebody said Wanda Smith, Sykes, Wanda Sykes.
Okay.
If somebody were talking about all the funniest comics and they go, Rick, would they need to say Glassman?
Yes.
If someone said Rick, would you think Ingram?
No, because you're one of my favorites. So it would have be the first one on my mind.
Nice.
But I was going to say, here's my theory about female comics being, or women being, quote unquote, less funny, which they're not. It's just the way it's nurture.
So they are, but it's not their fault.
Exactly. But I I don't know. But the funniest people I know and my favorite comedians are all women.
Well, we've talked about this girl for a few times now, and before
Lisa
even
Gilroy.
Well, I was going to say, but
the
now,
funniest person alive.
I honestly think she's one of the funniest people in the world.
I 100% agree. I've been on the Lisa Gilroy train since COVID when I discovered one of her videos at first.
Were you taking the train more during COVID?
I was in the quiet car, but I couldn't stay quiet, baby, because I was laughing so hard. She's so good. She's so pretty, and that's I'm just throwing that in.
You know what she does?
Huh?
I know we talked about this the other day. She's just not only does she like bits and get the bits, she yes ands the hell out of them. And it's just silly.
Yeah, talk about someone I'm jealous of or envious of. Because she's got stuff going for her, but I'm not even envious because it's something so different from what I do. She's not a stand-up, thank God, because she'd fucking rule the game.
Do you think she should get into it then?
No, because she's such a good, because I'm threatened. Stay away, Lisa. Stay away. No, she doesn't need to do stand-up. She's going to have like the best career she's going to be a household name any day now. I agree with you. She's like the best. And she falls into comedians as well. But we were talking about stand-ups before. That's why I didn't say Lisa, but that's absolutely her. The reason women, this is my theory, when we're young, that's where we like everything.
Try not to make this too boring because we all know this stuff already.
No, this is kind of interesting.
I know what you're going to say.
Please tell me. I would love if you guess this.
Here, is it analogous to why there aren't as many female scientists? Because when women are young, they are told to be, proper. They are told to don't challenge things, don't make a mess. When boys are like, oh, they're boys being boys, they're playing, they're sloppy, they're muddy, they're picking their nose, they're farting. That is validated, while women are shaped into being more ladylike.
Yes.
And the problem isn't being more ladylike. The problem is the definition of what we think ladylike is. And unfortunately, society has decided, without our permission, that ladylike is not these things that lead into being a scientist or being funny. It's about submissiveness. It's about taking care of others before ourselves. It's about being palatable, pretty. And then when you grow up, when your value is pretty and palatable, we're not challenging things. We care about our looks.
Boom.
We care about how other people see about us. Snooze fest. But I do agree, and I think it's unfortunate.
Why.
I really do.
So I do think, but my kind of interesting take is, I think women are less funny. Like no woman's really saying that. And but I'm saying it's not their fault. And I'll just add to it, like your arsenal of jokes when you're a kid, when you're developing your sense of humor, is poop, farts, dirt,
I'm sorry,
frogs.
my what?
Your arsenal.
My arsenal? Oh.
Man. What I was saying was.
Sorry, thanks. Go on.
Have you been microdosing? I can taste it. Okay, so your arsenal of jokes, your little toolkit is all farts and poop jokes.
Heavy, not all, but big.
But big. I mean, as a kid, like it's like just that's what's funny. And like,
you would go like
I
this.
remember saying things like farts and poops, and just the horrified reactions of like girls don't say it. It's not that guys don't get shamed for that too, because even with little boys, we're like, don't you talk like that? That's gross. You don't talk like
Depends.
that. There's a shame,
if
but
your
there's a little
parents
bit
are
of like,
into scatological humor.
no, come off it. But with girls, it's like, what my mom at least was like, you do not say dick.
Would you be funnier today if when you said dick and fart and poop and shit and boogers as a kid, you were like,
yeah.
You think you'd be funnier today?
Yeah. I'd have less shame about what I talk about.
Right.
Because I have a lot of shame about it. Like I just being known as like a sex comic, or talking
a
lot about
female comic.
I know, yeah. Yeah. You had something in your eye?
I thought I had a sneeze.
Okay. Yeah, it's like I'm embarrassed of that because there's a lot of people that go like, hey, we want you to do this NBC show, but like, just know you can't. It's like, I don't always have to talk about anal sex on everything I do. I think I kind of understand the parameters.
Could you prove that?
Can I please talk about a little bit?
You say, can I please talk about anal a little bit?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I have to go pee. Do you want to do some anal stuff while I go pee?
Sure.
Okay. But also, we might have to bleep some of it because I'm trying to do less swearing, which I'll be honest with you, it sucks, but I don't want to get demonetized anymore.
No, I don't really. I don't. What do I have to say about
do it, but don't say
anal?
anal. Instead of to use anal, do things that like you go with analogies, like do stuff that
like
symbolizes.
You don't know that I'm good with it. Okay. When
would you say that you're shit at it?
Yeah.
It stinks in here.
No, it doesn't. Oh wait, you were the last one to use it, so maybe it does.
No, I didn't use it last time.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess my pee takes a while to kick in. But I will say about that other kind of sex. What do I have pretty much, if you want to get my take on this, it'd be best to go watch my special Good Clean Filth on HBO. Or go see me on tour. I'm not actually talking about this subject on tour anymore. I kind of covered it. But I will say, as someone who enjoys it, it's not, I love that I enjoy it because it makes my sex life varied, but it's, if I want to have the best time possible, there's like a lot of work that goes into it beforehand, and you don't always want to do that. So sometimes you're like, oh, I don't get to do the most fun thing I want to do because like I just, I ate too much earlier, or I didn't feel like jumping up and down in my bathroom and doing my whole little routine, or I just got a new duvet.
How quickly could you put your duvet cover on?
Probably 3 hours.
Do you, when you put it in the back ends, do you tie the duvet to the cover itself?
If I've taken my ADD meds that day.
Got it.
If I'm being efficient in every little way.
Do you put it? Do you stuff it in, or do you go inside out, grab the corners, right side in?
No, I've never done that, but I think that's the right way to do it.
Of course, it's all right. I saw my girlfriend put a pillowcase on, and the way she did it was she took the pillow, she put it in the pillowcase, and
That's
started
what I
doing
do.
that. You take the pillowcase, you put it inside out, you put your hands in,
So smart.
so you get the corners, you grab two corners of the pillow, and you just pull it through.
Well, this is why women aren't funny.
Agreed. What else?
But I do, yeah. What else?
Do you want any more of that?
No, it's so. I mean, I'm gonna have more of it. I'm gonna.
Because
finish
I'm feeling pretty lit
I'm
up right now.
Feeling lit up.
Yeah, me too.
I had some before I came here. I love.
Are you watching Suits?
Caffeine is the best because it's a drug that's acceptable.
Just put up a picture of the mug from Louis Lit where it says "lit you up."
I'm not watching Suits yet, but I would. But I just haven't gotten into it. My boyfriend watched all 9 seasons, and I tallied up how much time that was, and I said, "You have wasted." It was like 16 days of his life.
Okay. Well, if you're calling
Which
that
seems like
waste,
a lot.
if you're calling that wasted, then you're saying when people watch you, they're wasting their time.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, then do less and let me do 30. Okay. So, a little secret: a lot of people who are watching Suits on Netflix have all 8 seasons. Wait a minute, there's a 9th season? Yeah, you got to watch it on Peacock.
Oh, really?
It's weird. Peacock has all of them. Netflix only has the first 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
If you want to come, gotta go over to Peacock if you want to finish.
Out of your Peacock, yeah.
Yeah. I have a thing that I just learned about. It when do you watch porn? Do you have a problem? Have you ever, I think we referenced it once yesterday, and I was like, oh, either he does or he's like anti it, or you're okay with it, or
Yeah, I mean, I have watched porn. I watch porn. I was it on our podcast? I don't remember if somebody asked. I remember somebody asked that, and I'm like, not as much as I could. Like I feel like
that.
I'm consciously not watching it that much.
Yes, I'm doing the same. Like, because we're talking about dopamine, and it's just like if I watch porn 3 days in a row, that third time it's like it's a struggle. But I have this thing I learned about called gooning. Do you know what that is?
Jerking off to the Goonies. We'll be right back.
Do you know what it is though?
No.
It's like when you don't want to come, so you like just like edging, but I guess it's called goon. Like they also call it gooning
because guys
just like,
come off the edge, girls goon.
Like you look like
so
a goon. You're kind of like, I don't know. You look goony. And so I love saying it like that. I goon, but I goon for everything in life. I like the anticipation. I don't like the reward. So I don't even like orgasms. I'm just like, oh God, as it's happening, I'm like, no, because it's almost over.
I have an analogy.
What?
Finishing that last piece of food.
Yes. I get excited when he's bringing it over.
I also get excited when it's there and eating it. And that's why I order 2 entrees. Because even if I don't eat the second one now, knowing it's there means I didn't orgasm. I got it's having your cake and eating it too and coming as well.
I used to do it on Christmas. I would not want to open any of my presents. And my parents would be like, what's wrong with you? And I'd just be like, because then it's over.
So I used to, I still like it, but I used to love American Idol.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I would watch it at home, my dad would watch with me sometimes. And as you do with this, when it's not on, now it's on Hulu, but back then it was like DVR, you could fast forward. please don't fast forward the commercials. Not that I love the commercials, but I want it to last longer.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I have an analogy for that. I don't. But that's I was almost going to, I know. You won. But
I grew up being raised that I was supposed to do analogies.
Oh yeah.
That's an
you were
analogy
encouraged
too.
Was it?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It was.
I understand wanting things to I'll if people get their dinner before me, I will go, or if I get my dinner before someone, I will wait, and they'll think like, no, eat. And I'm like, it's not out of respect.
I can't be done.
It's because I don't want to be done while because I'm so jealous that I'm so envious that you still have food. I have a weird thing like that. Like I'm almost getting sad that this is almost over because it's fun.
Do you feel that way
going like,
when you're
no,
getting
no.
a massage and you know there's a few minutes
enjoy
left?
the whole thing because it's gonna be over.
You know what I do?
What?
I sometimes say, I ask if it's possible to add 30 minutes onto it. And when they say yes, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't.
I do that too, because also you don't know if they're going to be good or not. You want to get in there and be able to go,
It's like
I
a
actually
FaceTime
realized I
date.
do have an appointment that I have to make. And also your hand strength.
Tell me
garbage.
how much you subscribe to this. When I'm getting a massage and it's not hard enough, I'll go a little bit harder, please.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll start with saying, please go very hard. And if it ever is too hard, and generally it's not that it's too hard, it's like that's so funny. I am such a fucking prop comic now that I have a mustache on the back of my sweatpants. That's so Raven. Where then, like, my calves are a little bit more, like, you can't go as hard on my calves as you can other places. So I'll go, and I'll keep doing it. Some people are like, it's too hard, it's not hard enough. They don't want to say something.
No, keep telling them. I do the same thing.
Good.
Yeah. And then sometimes I do just give up because I'm like, I don't want to hurt this person's hands. And I know they have I can tell their technique is bad
I
and they're going to hurt themselves. And this isn't worth it I don't want them to like be shaking when they make their kids lunch tomorrow because some dumb white bitch was like, can you please harder?
Does it matter that you're white? I'm starting
No,
to
the person that was giving me a massage didn't speak English and isn't white in this scenario. So I don't want to be like, I tip well at those places, but they're getting.
What do you tip on an $80 massage?
At like a Chinese or Thai massage place?
$80 massage, period.
$80 massage, I'll do 130. Pay 130.
50.
Yeah, I'll do 50. Because I just know that they're
That's
getting
kind of like
fucked.
going 11 minutes over on a 15-minute set.
Yeah, but the opposite because it's really nice.
I know,
thing to
but
do.
I'm just curious about what that.
Oh my God, that would
is.
probably. I do. I pull a beep when I tip.
Doing 21 on 15. Oh no, it would be 26. 26 on 15 is 73% over.
Yeah. So I tip about 73%.
You tip one.
I tip 50 on 80.
So what would you do? I would do 80 divided by 50 is 60%
I don't know. I'm
over.
not good at math. Oh wow.
It is pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
13% off. 13.3% off.
Yeah. And sometimes I'll just do 100% for them to go like, oh,
right.
like I'm a really good tipper.
And then
I will say.
And then later they say, Eliza gave me 100% tip.
No, she didn't.
No, I'm saying they think you're her.
Yes, I got the joke, but I'm making a joke.
Because in Suits, what's her name goes over and pretends to be Rachel because they're both at the same firm and they think, oh, it's a white blonde girl. But she didn't say that she was Rachel, but like it's still like, it's not illegal. But
is that Meghan Markle?
No.
Oh.
No, she's not a white girl with blonde
right.
hair.
I wasn't listening. And that just proved.
Maybe put your headphones on.
I just haven't heard any of this.
How much money do you make from stand up a year?
I honestly don't know.
So you had to guess. Would you say more or less than 2 million?
Oh, I would say less.
But close?
Probably. I work a lot.
How many shows do you do a year?
But that's just what I collect, and then what I spend so much to do it. But what do I what?
How many shows a year?
I would say I'm out 45 weeks of the year.
And on a week, how many shows are you doing? You don't do 5. You're doing theaters now.
No, I'm doing theater. So
one show
2
a
or
night?
3 shows. So sometimes 2. So 2 or 3.
But usually it's 1 per city, right?
Yeah.
When you do,
so 2.5, it probably
if
averages out
you do a theater
to.
Friday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or
I will only do a theater one night. I'm not selling 2 shows. If I do 2 shows, I'm doing it in the same
I know
night.
what I'm
Sorry,
saying. What's
sorry.
the most? If you do 3 in a week, is it Thursday through Saturday or Friday through Sunday?
Friday through Sunday,
So
generally.
Friday, if you do a show Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's in 3 different cities. Are you flying or do you drive to these places where you're close?
We drive sometimes because I travel with my best friends, and so we sometimes like to just make it a road trip. So we will drive if we can, if it's like under
And
5
what, are you
hours.
just renting a car or do you do a
Yeah,
bus?
we rent a car. Yeah. I wish I would maybe do a bus when I'm at the next level of stuff.
Do you
so.
see yourself growing to get to that level still?
I'm actually very happy with where I am.
I'm just asking, is it still going up?
Yes, it is still going up.
Nice.
Yeah, because it will keep going up, I think, as long as I keep working as hard as I am, and enjoying it as much.
What does working hard mean?
It means getting on stage every chance I get, as long as, my body and psyche can take it.
We have
Like
2
not
shows together
passing
this
up.
week.
What?
We have shows together Sunday and Monday this week.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while. It's so fun. So yeah, like when I'm here in LA, like I've been on the weekends, which I'm filming FBoy Island Sunday through Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday I do like 4 or 5 sets.
And then you're going back to St. Louis the next day.
And then I go back. No, St. Louis. I live there mostly. Here I've been here for 3 months doing FBoy Island, or 2.5 months. But usually I'm in St. Louis between the theater gig days on the weekends. And then
so
when I'm in St. Louis, I don't do sets.
So next weekend
But I
you
will
have,
be doing
you have
them
shows
now.
next weekend. You're not going to St. Louis. You're just going on
Next
the road.
weekend I'm going on the road, and then I'll go back to St. Louis after that because I just wrapped on F Girl Island. Or I will be.
I don't know what show, if it even happens, I'll be doing with you.
Mm-hmm.
But if it already happened, cut to a clip.
Let's go to say to the hilarious Rick Glassman.
And if not, we'll say
What about
here
New
what it
Year's?
is.
What are you doing New Year's?
That's such a commitment.
I know,
only to
I
do
know,
New Year's, but
yeah.
also to tell you what I'm doing New Year's months out.
Okay.
Why, where are you going to be?
Denver on the 30th. So it's not New Year's, it's the
Right.
New Year's Eve. But that's just one date I remember. Like that is a fun room. But we'll talk about it. We'll get you somewhere.
So it's not Comedy Works. You're playing a theater there.
Yeah. The Paramount.
And you've done it already there.
Yeah, I taped my last special there actually.
Aren't you tape? Don't you have another tape scheduled?
Mm-hmm.
When is that?
Seattle, December 16th.
And
at
where is that special going?
HBO.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And when does that come out?
Probably in the spring sometimes. Depends on how long it takes me to edit, but hopefully early spring.
How many specials have you done?
One. I'm not trying to be like one. I don't. 3 hours, and then I did 2 half hours or 3 half hours. So
this is your 7th special.
yeah.
Good for you.
Thanks.
And you do 2. You were doing 4 podcasts a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
working
because
hard.
I did the 4 podcasts a week because when stand up went away, I was not doing sets every night, and I just felt like I'll get depressed if I'm not like overworked, and so I was like, oh, I'll do 4 podcasts a week because it was COVID. And then when I got my deal at iHeart to do a podcast, I was like, let's just keep doing 4. I like morning radio. That's what I like listening to, and so I wanted to create that kind of vibe. And if you do something enough, the quality doesn't have to be as good because you're like, I'm giving you the quantity. So it was a way for me to take the pressure off myself
Yeah, I
of
get
like,
that.
I don't have to prepare as much because I like doing podcasts where I just go in and talk and have a good time. And that's what my podcast is. Every day is not like, we're doing these segments. Like it's just like me talking and hanging with my buds. And if I'm in a bad mood, like I'm in a bad mood for the podcast and I talk about it, I cry sometimes, I get angry. They're not
Yeah.
good sides of myself that come out. It's not always the best version of myself, but it's
Part
real.
of the collection. Yeah.
Yeah. And when people listen to it, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, no, don't, like the fact that your girlfriend listens to it, I'm like, oh my God, she knows the real me more than most of my friends do. If you listen to my podcast, like it is a version of me that is like, I call my listeners my besties. It's kind of like tongue in cheek because that word is so lame, but they know me as good as my best friends.
Kind of like when I said, are women funnier than men? I was saying that tongue in cheek. And then we got into it for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I took you seriously.
But then we got a real take.
Yeah.
Would you want a podcast if you weren't making decent money doing it?
Yeah, it's not for the money. I don't tell them that, but yeah, I would do it for probably nothing because because then it would be even less pressure because I'm like, I'm not getting paid for this. Yeah. So it's like, I just like talking and I guess I just like keeping people company and making them feel less alone and also having a place where I don't have to be funny. Like when I'm on stage or even coming here, I'm like, oh my God, I got to be so funny because this podcast is so funny. And I'm just not in this kind of setting, sitting down. When I'm on stage, I've prepared for that, even though it looks, and sometimes it isn't prepared. Like I just riff on stage and things come out. But it's more stand up is just a different vibe than podcasting, and I just feel less
when
pressure.
You're standing up? Do you feel pressure that you have to be funny for the
stand up?
audience?
Yes.
For the audience that's seeing that show, or for you to feel like
For
you're
the
good
audience. For the they paid to see me. Even if they didn't pay, like I'm never gonna be a comic that can sit in silence on stage and like or go like, so
That's
what
Dana
else?
Carvey talks about
or
that.
like look at my phone and be like, let me just look through. Like when comics do that, no disrespect. Truly, I mean this. Like I wish I could do that because it looks so cool. But I'm like, no, you better come with fucking jokes.
What about like the shows we're doing this weekend where it's like, it's not your show? Are you more comfortable, like whatever?
Yeah, I'm a
figuring out?
little more comfortable, like possibly not doing well in those shows because I'm working on new material. And so
we
it's a
could
little
cut
bit
to
rougher.
it for a bit. One of those two shows, will you intentionally just bomb so we could show you bombing?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I can't do a bit where I'm like I could never do your phone call bit because I feel like the audience would be like, what is she doing? Like, I don't like them to ever be like, oh,
Yeah,
she's
you don't
not.
want to feel that you made somebody uncomfortable or they don't like you.
Hell, I don't like prank shows. I don't like punked. I don't like anything. I don't like
What
making
about Impractical Jokers when they're doing it to themselves?
No, because
know
it
Sal
involves other
Volcano?
people. Yes, I love him.
One of the nicest guys in the
He's
world.
so nice. I really, anything he shows up on, I always watch.
Impractical Jokers?
Not that. I don't like, I mean, I probably would enjoy it, and I hear it's like
just
a
for
brilliant
clip,
show.
So just say you don't like the show Impractical Jokers.
I don't like Impractical Jokers. Never have, never will.
Sorry, Sal.
It's just because I just don't want to see people get confused and be like, huh? Because that trauma stays with you of being pranked. Even if you go, just kidding. There's a little thing in your brain that is now changed. And the next time something like that happens, you're going to have a trauma response. And I'm not trying to talk all therapy.
Then stop.
You get it.
My dad would drive me to school a lot because I was always late.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be looking out the window and my dad would say, Rick, and his finger would be here. And I'd turn back and I'd go into this. So to this day, when I'm looking this way and somebody calls my name, I turn my head and I block still in case somebody's finger is right next to me.
Yes.
He also used to fart in the car and lock the windows.
Your dad's so funny.
Yeah.
So funny. When you called him during Lisa's episode and he said, well, let me see if I could try to remember.
I don't remember. I was so
it
stoned
was
that
so
episode.
funny. Okay, so he goes, I can't believe I remember this. He dropped a raisinette and he was trying to find it and he goes, and then you never know, like if you drop a raisinette, it melts, it gets on your pants. That's not a good look. Saying that it melted, like that's like a look someone would choose.
Made me think of something.
That's not a good look.
I remember. So one of my favorite episodes of my podcast ever is number 32 with my dad, cousin Teddy, and Uncle Bob.
I love those.
Uncle Bob is Stern is everything to him, and he has become a fan of yours through Stern.
Oh,
and I played a message for him. I don't remember what it was. I think the first time he came, I don't remember, but he really likes you. So every now and then, whenever you get brought up, like when I'm around Uncle Bob, I want to call Uncle Bob.
What? Yay!
Meet Uncle
I
Bob.
connect people's internet. Niche, specialized telecom. Geographic
Gotta do it
location. 211. Hey now.
Do you think I'll say hello or yellow?
Hey, Rick.
Hey, Uncle Bob.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, I'm with.
Let me inject you.
You with the fam.
Inject you.
Well, Uncle Bob, before we get too into it, I want to let you know I have a little surprise for you because we're on my podcast, and guess who my guest is?
Your guest is Nikki Glaser.
It is. Hi, Uncle Bob.
Hey now. Hi, Nikki. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Hit him with a hine.
My day has all of a sudden gotten better.
That's so nice.
My gout is all of a sudden my gout is in doubt from hearing your voice.
Yeah, your tone. I answered. It was very somber, and then it was her. It's like you're ordering at a restaurant voice.
Aww. So you're a big Stern head?
Am I listening to Stern?
No, like you love Stern.
I didn't. I'm getting old, Nikki.
She asked, so you love Howard Stern?
Oh yeah, I did, but he's gotten too bougie and not funny, and all the side players aren't as good anymore. But he deserves it. He's got a year and a half left, and then he'll go do specials for HBO and be happy with Beth. And but I still listen to him. Miss the Whack Packers.
Me too.
But at least But you were the best. You got your full of them on Hollywood Squares.
Oh, that was the
best.
greatest. Yes, it was disgusting. Mark the Bagger.
I think wasn't it? It was High Pitch. It was High Pitch or Jeff the Drunk. Who or both of them were after you?
Yeah, they all
After
are.
you trying to hook up with you?
Yeah, they all have like crushes on me.
Have you hooked up with any of them?
Just a couple. Wendy.
Yeah, I think Nikki's a little more discerning than that.
I appreciated it. They're all so sweet, but yeah, that was disgusting. But I'll do anything for him. I think on any other radio show, I'd be like, get me out of here.
Would you rather have sex with High Pitch Eric or blow Beetlejuice?
Oh God. Do I? Can it be doggy style so I don't have to see it?
Yes.
The blowjob.
Wait. blow Beetlejuice from like his fruit basket where he's just bending it over. Well, Uncle Bob, say hello to the family, and also if there's any, I had Nikki over, and I was just reminded of I wanted to call you while we were here.
I will, and when I saw that the tweet from Nikki, it made my day, week, and month. So,
what was the tweet? I don't remember.
You had done something, I think, with my magnanimous, or there was one of the words that that I'm known for using that.
I don't remember, but she does love the replenish video.
Thank you.
Oh my God!
All organic too.
I know.
You guys are the comedians, but that was organic.
It was incredible. It's one of the best comedic moments of all time. I share it with everyone.
Is there anything you want to plug?
I want to plug 211 because we all need more mental health services.
Give us a little 211 music, would you?
I know what 211 is, all right, Ricky, and you don't want to make fun of it. Oh. It's a suicide prevention line.
211.
Teddy, no music. Teddy, no. Teddy.
I don't know what music you play to 211.
Stop, Teddy. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I think it's important that we all know that everybody does for real. We've all lost friends.
This is the road to fucking hell.
And you have to. We'll put up the number here, and if anybody is feeling lonely, we've all felt that way before. And
I was just kidding.
There's no. Oh, it's not. Is it not that? But still, there's nothing funny about that.
Isn't it though?
What is it? What's 211?
When you're having problems with social services, United Way stuff like you've had before. You're a veteran. You don't know how to get your benefits. You have mental issues. You call
a very national song.
No, okay. You just totally just cut away from it. You call 211. And they connect you with that before you dig? Fucking person that you
do I call 211 before I dig?
That's easier. That's 811.
Oh, that's 811.
Ain't that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
We'll cut to a clip of your 211, and I love you, Unc.
Love you.
Talk to you
Thanks,
later.
Love
Nikki.
you. Bye.
Have a great holiday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Right.
Cutie.
Yeah.
That's
Unc.
That was nice.
Yeah. He knows a lot about Stern, and then what I didn't know how he felt what he just said. And I feel like, do we bleep that?
Probably.
Is Stern high enough up to where?
I just don't. Yeah, I just don't. I know that he's a sensitive man, and he's like us. Like, there's no level of like. He could argue like it's just one guy.
Yeah,
that
but now
thinks
that we're talking about it, do we leave this in but bleep in what he said? Because then I feel like the bleep would seem like it was worse than it really was. Because he just said
no, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
That bad.
No, I think just leave it in. It's fine because it's just one person's opinion. And I actually just got asked to do. They're doing like some kind of documentary thing about Stern, and they wanted me to be a talking head on it. And I said yes immediately. I was like, oh my God, I'll talk about it anytime. And then I immediately go, wait, has he authorized this?
Right.
Because I don't want to have anything to do with something he doesn't want. Because I'm very,
I do.
I love him so much.
He's great,
and he is. People, I just don't. I think it's so funny when people still think of him as talk about someone who has changed.
Yeah, Private Parts.
Yeah, which is one of the greatest movies ever. It's
great.
But people who think he's still that guy and still like does misogynist humor, which he sometimes does. Like we're all a little bit that. He's just honest. And that's what my dad once said, like someone had asked him, how do you deal with a daughter that talks about stuff like this on stage, and how do you watch her and how do you handle that? Because it's kind of like having a daughter that does porn or something. Like the way I talk on stage sometimes, like it's it's pornographic in nature at times. And I'm veering away from it as I get older because it's just like, no one needs to hear that. But he told me, I just tell myself she's like Howard Stern. She's just being honest. And that's what Howard does. And I don't have a problem with him doing it. So I don't have a problem with her doing it. And I wasn't even a Stern fan before that. I didn't really know about him. But when my dad said that, I was like, I got to look into this Stern guy. And then I was like,
you got to get to know him. It's like you only see so much. Would you say it's kind of like when you first see him, you're just seeing the tip of the clit? And then as time goes on, you see the inches deep.
Yeah, you got to pull back the hood.
What do you have to say about when people are referring to me as the next generation's Howard Stern?
And who are these people? I'm just wondering, who said this?
Just people saying, like, not that I'm necessarily the same sensibility.
That you'll eventually stay inside your home for your entire adult life and never walk out because you're scared of germs?
No. The way, I put a blanket down. But the way that, like, I'm able to both be playful and sincere, weaving in and out, if not both at the same time, to allow others to feel so safe and to draw things out of them, to be so engaging and honest and raw and smart.
Yes. You're not doing as many gotcha things.
No, but that's not my style.
And you didn't want to hear me talk about ANAL as much as Stern would.
Right. But I'm not him. But like, I do have other things I like to do.
No,
you know?
I think you have a great broadcasting voice, and you are. I mean, I listen to your show, and I don't listen to other people's shows. So obviously, I'm a fan of you on the same level that you're in the bubble of broadcasters I like to listen to.
Could you give Howard Stern a call and tell him this?
I don't have his number, but he did call me one time.
You didn't save the number?
It was private. He called me after I appeared on.
He's like Gerard Carmichael to us.
What? Does he have a private number?
It's, I mean, whenever even though I have his number saved, it's still whenever it comes up as blocked.
Oh, wow.
Or private or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
So whenever I get a call from somebody, like restricted or something, I just know it's him.
Oh, interesting. I always pick up restricted too because I'm like, what famous person is trying to contact me? And it's sometimes
restricted.
Not.
I'm okay with. Might be spam or just a number I don't have saved. I'm not with.
Right.
I'm not.
Private though. Yeah, I've gotten Alec Baldwin. I was on the other line one time when I picked up.
What was he telling you?
He just thought I was brilliant and wanted to possibly talk about doing a type of show together. It was a long time ago, and that offer's obviously passed. I was locked into something, so I couldn't. But it was really nice to talk to him during COVID. And he was like, "You're living with your parents." It was kind of embarrassing once I got into the whole thing. And
Jack Donaghy, man, one of the greatest characters.
One of the greatest.
On television
but
ever.
like that's why I'm like I always got to pick up a private number. And one time during I didn't pick up a private number, and it was the Tonight Show calling to see if I could do a set that night. And I could have done it, but I didn't pick it up. So I always pick them up now.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of phoning it in.
But I did the first time I did the Tonight Show was them calling a private number. And I was this was 2009. I was 24. I'd never gotten a private number before. I'd been done Last Comic Standing, but it had been years. I was broke. I was drunk. I was depressed. I was sleeping all day. I was gaining weight.
And you know what I know? This was also before your birthday that year.
Yeah, because why? Oh, because I was born the same year you were?
No. Well, you were born in 84 or 85?
Yeah, 84.
Right. So you would have been turning, if it was 2009, you would have been turning 25.
Yeah,
so how do you remember you were 24 if not counting the year?
January 27th, 2009 was the date I got this call.
When's your birthday?
June 1st.
How do you remember it was January 27th? That's what stuck out to me.
Because I did it that day. They were like, can you do the Tonight Show tonight? And it was my first time ever doing the Tonight Show.
How'd they have your phone number?
They knew I had been already vetted. Eddie vetted me, and they had already said,
what is he? Is that Guns N' Roses? I'm
Pearl Jam.
Thank you.
So I had gone through a process of a year and a half with the two bookers there being like, let's look at your set. No, you can't do that joke. Okay,
Right.
Send us another set. And finally, I'd locked it in. I had locked it in a year before, maybe more than a year. And they were like, it's good to go. You're going to do it. I told my parents. Everything was great. I was like, I'm going to be on the fucking Tonight Show with Jay Leno before he came back after Conan. This is like the Tonight Show. So excited. Told everyone. Didn't happen. Months went by. Didn't happen.
This is before.
This was before.
January.
This was way. So it was approved, and I had lost hope. It wasn't going to happen. Like it had been over a year since they had approved it, and they weren't talking to me anymore. I wasn't getting my calls weren't returned. I had just given up, and then I just got a call one morning. I was so hungover. It was like 11 in the morning, and I saw it said private or restricted, and it was someone was trying to track me down to pay for an MRI that I had gotten and didn't realize was going to be like $800. So I was getting a lot of calls about that at the time. And for some reason I was just like, you need to be accountable to this. Like, just talk to them about
to pay for your MRI.
Yeah. Or just to tell them I can't, or like, give me some time, like be an adult. So I picked it up and they were like, hi, this is the Tonight Show. We had a dropout. Are you free to do it tonight?
Did any part of you think, like, when before you get served, they pretend they're a pizza delivery guy or something? Did any part of you think this is the collection services pretending that they're the late night show?
No, because it was the guys that I had been working with, and I recognized their voice. And
what'd you feel?
And like a lot of times when this happens to me, where I get an amazing opportunity, my first thought is like, fuck, like I can't say no to this. I really don't want to do this. I don't feel ready. I don't have an outfit. My hair isn't done. I feel fat. I didn't have time to prepare. I haven't run this set a lot. Obviously the answer, like, no, I don't want to do this, but I can't not do it. Like when I got asked to do Dancing with the Stars, I didn't want to do that fucking show. I don't know how to dance. It's going to be embarrassing. But you don't pass up Dancing with the Stars because I don't want to be 60 years old someday and go, man, that would have been so fun and weird, but I was too cool to do it, or I was too scared. Like, so I just say yes to things, even though alarms are going off like, no, this is a fucking burden. So I said, of course, I'm ready. And so I just got up and I went to Urban Outfitters and I was like, can you help me find an outfit? I didn't know how to dress back then. I was like overweight. I hated myself. I didn't have any money. I literally had no money. My parents had to put money in my account for me to get that done. I went to go get my hair cut. I didn't even know how to be like a woman. I didn't know how to do makeup. I was just like floundering. And then, and I didn't remember my set because it had been approved a year before and I wasn't like practicing because I had given it up. So I went through my DVDs that were just like thrown in a fucking drawer underneath our DVD player. And I was like looking through all these DVDs that I'd gotten from different shows. And one said like, I had marked it like, this is the set. And I was like, oh, yes. And then right at that moment, I got a call, your car is here. And so I stole my roommate's computer to put in the DVD. I watched it on the way to the set. I lived in North Hollywood. The drive was to Burbank.
So you've been done with this material for a bit.
For so long. And so then I went over all of it.
But you felt you had to do that material. You couldn't do something different?
Yeah, because that was the one they approved. They were like, you remember the set, right? And I lied and I go, of course.
If you were to do it today and they asked you again and they remembered a set, you would just do whatever you wanted, right?
No, I would probably still go like, I got to follow the rules.
Okay,
like this, I don't want to like hurt the Tonight Show.
So you're watching on your way.
So I watched on the way and I memorized it just in that 5-minute drive. Like it was just the amount of time. I slammed the laptop, I get out and they were like, do the set for us because we don't remember it. So I kind of could have done whatever. And then I did a rape joke.
You said do it for what? They don't care to block it. Why'd you have to do it for them before performing?
They were like, remind us of the set. So I just had to do it for them right there in the studio lot. Like they were both waiting for me to get out of the car. Bob Ross and Ross Mark are their names. And
was that easy to do? Because at that point, you already have it. So performing in front of two people, it felt more like pitching than performing.
I was just like, I do this, I did this, and this, and this. And I'm like, I'm saying it. And then I went in and did the set and it was incredible.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was the best. And I was filling in I was the second guest, which is unheard of for doing a comedian because Paula Abdul was supposed to be the second guest. She was the one that dropped out. They had literally had
So you performed and then went to the couch?
Yes. And Rainn Wilson was the first guest. And I said,
wow.
I walked over to the...
During The Office?
Yeah, during The Office. So I walked over and he goes, great set. And I go, thanks, Dwight. I called him Dwight. Not on purpose, but I said Dwight to him very audibly. And then Hoobastank performed, and then that was my first. And I thought my life would change because it's like I did the Tonight Show.
Look at you now.
Nothing happened, and I had to go back home to St. Louis and move out of my apartment, and I gave up on LA. Yeah, I had nowhere to go, and I was. That having that credit was like, oh, I can start headlining like D rooms in St. Louis and we'll live rent free. So I'll earn enough money.
Was there a moment that things did change for you and because of a moment?
Yes.
What was it?
It was, I started a podcast when I moved to New York in 2010 with my friend Sarah Schaefer. It was called You Had to Be There.
What month?
It was January of 2011 we started, maybe earlier than that. But we did
So you're 25. 26.
Yes. And then we wrote a sketch together called, it was like about Justin Timberlake had not made music since for years and years at this point. It would have been forever. Like he did, I'm bringing sexy back. And then it was like a drought. So we did a fake PSA of like, Justin, please come back to music. Kids are dying. And we had all these comedians in it.
Is that why he did Dick in a Box, do you think? Because like a comedian asked him to come back to do music?
He saw it, retweeted it, and it like blew up, right? And then we got my partner got a meeting at MTV
because
to do
of
a general.
Tweet?
Yeah, I think it was like
that tweet actually. It wasn't the podcast. It was that tweet.
Well, the podcast got us together to make the thing, and then we got on the New York Times for the podcast because it was like kind of a hit, and it was.
Just heard camera turn off.
Oh shit!
But also-
Can I hit the bathroom?
Yeah, but we didn't do that much time. Oh yeah, it just stops sometimes. I have to pee again. Oh.
Stop.
Oh Jesus.
Stop.
All right. Well, listen, fun stuff.
So anyway, I did the Tonight Show. Yeah.
Congrats.
And nothing changed. And then I got a TV show from that one little viral clip.
Amazing. That's how shit happens.
That's why I'm here.
And now we've had you on because technically, maybe because of Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, it's all because of him. Should we sing? How does Bye 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 start? Because that would be a perfect song.
Well, you might hate me.
You might been hurt, babe. It ain't no lie, but you know there ain't no time to waste. Cause you're too blind to see. But in the end, you know it's gonna be me. You can't deny. So just tell me why every little thing I do never seems enough for you. You don't wanna lose it again. But I'm not like them, baby, when you finally get to love somebody, that's why it's gonna be me.
I typically give people Justin Timberlake's Highlight 2020 book, but I ran out of them. I had tons of them, and I would gift them to people all the time.
No way.
But I have Howard Stern and Will Smith books.
Oh my God, I already have the Howard Stern one, but I'll take the Will Smith one. Really? Thank you.
This one, no, I have
I
one
hear
that's-
it's bonkers.
It's great. I have the other one I have signed from him.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
thank you.
Sure thing.
Ow! What the fuck?
Can I have that back, please? It actually does a really cool thing. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So.
Thank you. That's so special.
I'll give it to you. I gotta get a Polaroid of you, but let's call it anything you want to promote.
Tour, podcast, Nikki Glaser podcast, and FBoy Island. It's starting on the CW. So if you have the CW and watch that, it's October 14th that's starting, and then F Girl Island, which if you like reality TV, you'll love it. But if you don't like reality TV, I promise you'll love it. It's the funniest thing I think I've ever done, and I'm really proud of it. And it's just a great show to watch and binge with, and mindlessly watch and be on TikTok the whole time and like look up and just have a great time. I'm so proud of it. F-Boy Island.
And
CW,
if you want
October
to see
14th.
all these Polaroids of all my guests, which I haven't started posting it, but maybe I have at this point, Instagram, pod.snaps.
Okay.
We'll start the theme music on the flash. Want to pull your skin back?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop